Hello, everyone. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Okay, good. Thanks. All right. Today we have Andrea Turnbull in our as our helper today. Andrea, were you in three or four?
I was in four last
You
year.
were in last year. Last year. Okay. Go ahead. I'm just gonna follow you. Uh, Andrea lives in the Santa Barbara area. Tell what do you think they need to know about where they're at? They're in the chairs weekend.
Oh, the Chairs Weekend is super fun. I think that was one of my favorite weekends. Don't give up your mat practice ever. It's super helpful. And yeah, the Chairs is great. I don't have too much to say about it. I feel
It
like
wasn't
everything,
the overwhelming one.
it wasn't the overwhelming one at all. It was just like fun. You really got to dive deep into it. The exercises all started really to click, and you could find like the rowing and all of the back connections and start to put it all together.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree. Well, thank you for being here. And those of you who like farm animals, Andrea has a lot of them. So, um, yeah, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna start with a workout. Obviously, if you were watching the morning group, I can't surprise you with what happens at the end. I'm not gonna don't tell anyone if they didn't watch. Let them be surprised. So if you are not moving, like you just ate, you're not moving, totally fine. Like go ahead and uh they don't just go ahead and like enjoy just watching people. What we're gonna do is if you're not moving, you're no camera off. If you're in my house and your camera is not focused on the excuse me, sorry, I can hear myself twice. So it's a little if your camera's not focused on you working out, turn your camera off. So on the replay, it's easier to see everything. Yeah. All right. So at the house, when you people on all the window chairs. So there's three window chairs here, so three people should be moving, and then at home, and we'll get started with the one to chair. Melissa, I know you're thinking it's gonna be the mat, but we're gonna start with the one to chair. Yeah. So Andrea, you and I can also go camera off for this part too. All right. So make sure your spring is on a one top, one bottom. Hmm. And then this camera is good for you, Amy. So you've got that. You've got this camera. Yeah. All right. So one top, one bottom spring. We're going to start with footwork and get everyone on. All right. Go ahead and start with footwork toes. Heels together, toes apart. Do 8 to 10 on your toes, and then you'll do arches and heels 8 to 10. And Amy, I think you can come a little closer to the edge. Yeah. I like the zest, but make sure that you are actually pulling the pedal up and it's not pushing your knees up, right? The other thing to notice or to feel is if you feel the weight going forward and back in your pelvis should feel very still and heavy. And then do single leg on the toes. Yeah, Vera, just use your wall. Just point your toes so much you could push into the wall. It could help hold your leg up. Yeah, there you go. After five on each side, go ahead and come off of the chair and we'll lie on your back for the 100. You lie on top of the chair. Long ways is easier, short ways is harder. If you don't want to lie on your chair, you can lie on your mat, but you're going to do your 100 in your ab series. When you're done with your 100, sit up for a second before going into your ab series. Kristen, a little more ribs on the mat. Just a little more. Yeah. And then you'll do your ab series up back on top of the chair. So you can either do the long ways or the short ways, but we're gonna do, I just like to sit people up, otherwise you get in your neck. Do three of each. And then Melissa, yeah, make sure you've got a good amount of your spine on there. And just because we're on top of the chair doesn't mean this mat work that we lose the pull. When you grab your legs for your ab series, you are strong. There's a reason we grab our legs. We pull on them 2 times, we push on them 2 times. You can take breaks if you need it. Shannon gets to interlace her fingers. I know. Oh, you get to interlace them all the way, Shannon. You get to totally interlace your fingers all the way. Yes. And then you get to juice out the crisscrosses, Kristen. Juice them out and oh my God, you're not interlaced either. I just told Shannon. hmm Yeah, Vero, for the double straight leg stretch, you can also hold the corners of the chair. Yeah. Uh-huh. After you're done with your ab series, take your time because some of you are rushing the crisscross like it's on fire. Go ahead and do your pull-ups. So stand in front of your chair. If you know you need to change the spring, give it a change. Otherwise, it's a top bottom. Hands on the back of the chair. Go ahead and show me your pull-ups. Do three with 2 legs. And if it went well, you can do single leg. Laura, as the pedal goes down, your waist goes up. Round your back on the lower back there, Laura. That's better on the way down. I like it. Sarah, that pedal's pushing you around, babe. That lift is pushing you around. So either you might want to drop a spring 1 notch. You might want to go down. Yeah, try 2 bottoms. It just looks like you're flying, especially on the up. Shoulders over your wrists. Now drop your head, Sarah, and then lift your ribs as you push the pedal down. Yeah, you don't have to go to the bottom. Just go towards the floor and then back up. Yeah. Good. After you do your single legs, then you'll do your side pull-ups. Side pull-ups. Uh-huh. So push the pedal down to pivot to one side, and it's the inside foot that's on the pedal, and the outside foot is your snake. It's your snake leg, Kristen. Switch, yeah, Amy, switch your legs. Kristen, turn your hands so they face each other like the hug. Nope. Put that hand back. Nope. Carrie, can you go show Kristen where her hands go? Yeah. And then after three with 2 legs, send that top leg out if it went well. If it didn't, just think about it, right? We don't even have to lift the pedal to get the work out of this. hmm Oh, and then Sarah, even though the leg is high, it's still a round back. So drop your head and lift your waist. hmm All right. After your side pull-ups, let's do Achilles stretch. So hands on, press the pedal down. There, I like how high your leg gets, but you lose the shape of the spine. So you want to play with how high the leg can go with the spine shape. Yeah. Okay. Now if you want, you might want to change your spring, Sarah, back to like a 1-2 or a 1-3. We're doing the Heelys. Laura, we got to get more round in your lower back, less upper back. hmm Shannon, feel like your shoulders are doing shave on your back. Yeah. After 5 on each side, press down front. Push the pedal down and up 5 times. After the 5, if it's going well, You'll push the pedal down, add the heel, lower, lift, and then lift the pedal 3 times. Oh, and Vero, the bottom heel stays down. It's the pedal heel that lower and lifts. You push the pedal down with your right, your standing heel is down. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, I thought you lifted that standing heel. Maybe you just got really tall.
I was going to do the heel up at the end. I did 5 with the heel down.
Yeah, so the standing heel will still stay down, but then the pedal heel will push down, lower the heel,
Oh, that's
lift the
right.
pedal.
Okay.
That one.
Yes.
Yeah,
Sorry.
there is the one that you're doing. I'm not making you do that one today. So then, Sarah, lift the heel, then lift the pedal. Push the pedal down, lower the heel, lift the heel, lift the pedal. Yeah. So you add it on. Yeah. After you do both sides, so your press down side, no heel changes. Just the press down side. Sarah, the top foot is turned out. You're on the ball of the foot. Press down side. It's like the heel is up. You're on the ball of the foot. Yep. When the pedal comes up, what do you need to do in your hip so the thigh bone lifts, but the hip doesn't? Then you'll do your press down crossover when you've done your press down side. Melissa, is your do you feel like your right hip is leaning in towards the chair? It looks like it is. Push the pedal down and maybe don't lift the pedal all the way up. Yeah, so hug your right hip in and then lift the pedal only as much as you can't lean. Yeah, after you've done whatever that was on both sides, let's do your going up front, everyone. And I want to see quiet step up. And you can move your chair to a wall so you feel safer, it's totally fine. But push the pedal down. And if you feel confident, do the step up. If you don't, hands on. Woo, Kristen, stand on those legs, babe. Stand in your legs. And then Amy, weight it doesn't shift forward and back. So go up. Yeah. When you're doing the up and down with those going up fronts, we're not trying to reset each rep. You go up and you go down, but like you don't stop and rest, right? After going up front, both sides, do a mountain climber. And Sarah, you're so light. You might want to try this on a 1, 2, like, or because it almost looks like it's just easy. Yeah. hmm And mountain climber doesn't mean it has to be the full mountain climber. It could be the prep only. Could be the full. Yeah, this is I think Sarah, you probably are a 1-2 for most things and then a 1-1 for some things. Yeah. Just the angle of that pedal, it's a big deal for you. Uh-huh. Where are my parallel thighs? And then Laura, can you use your center to round down? Kristen, can you do your going up front where you don't reset each step? Like you go down, you go up. A little taller in that back, Sarah. It might have been the internet, but there should be, Sarah, there should be like 8 at the bottom and then 8 pumps to get to the top. 8 at the top and then 8 pumps to come down. So you're not just there's a transition. So, okay, when you're good with your mountain climbers, let's go down to one middle spring. We haven't gone over these, but we'll do it today, but let's go ahead and lie on your stomach for a swan. So a middle spring on an exo chair is usually a 2, could be a 1. One middle spring and lie on your stomach. Uh-huh. And then you bend your elbows 3 times and it's with a tall back. You're extending, Amy. Lower your chest. Vero, if you want you can do the one on the floor if you want. It's all we're doing the one on the top, but you can do it on the floor. All right, Shannon, those fun legs you do in your swan, you're doing them here. So how can we get your legs longer from your thighs? How do we lower your feet? 3 pumps, 1 lift, 3 pumps, 1 lift, 3 pumps, 1 lift, and then a single arm. One of those springs can be really tricky in there, Carrie. Did you guys get it? Okay. You do a swan there. Yeah. You gotta use your reaching arm. So Vera, that arm can go more sideways and backwards, and it can help pull the twist out of you. Some of you are really excited to go up instead of forward. So I would just explore how long you can get in your single arm swan. Can you get your hand more at the front edge of the chair? Yeah. Yeah, because you want your wrist straight. And then you don't want the hand necessarily in the center. You want it like between center and the side. Yeah, otherwise you'll twist. Mhm. All right, then after your single arm swan, then you guys get to do push down from the back. So stand at the back of your chair, arms up, round forward. And you push the pedal only as far as you can from your center, and then you pick the pedal up. Some of you are only getting your fingertips to the pedal. Can we do this again? Come up. Can you get the heel of your hands at the edge of the pedals? Round and get the heel of your hand on the pedal and then push. Yeah, that is different. Uh-huh. And then lift up. Okay. Pretty good. Pretty good. Okay, let's come to the front of the chair. Stand 2 foot distance away from the chair. You'll do your standing single leg press down. And then you take your leg across your body, across your midline, and then put the ball arch of your foot on the pedal. Yep. And then as you round forward, the pedal will lower. But Kristen, that's too far. Please be careful. Good. And then and then you'll lift. So you're lowering, you're rounding your spine, and that's causing your leg to push the pedal down, but not to the floor, just down. And then you lift up and you lift the pedals. So some of you are really excited to push the pedal down or really excited to round your back. Move, round your spine, and the leg moves with the round spine. Lift your spine, the leg lifts. Sarah, your spine is rounding faster than your leg is pushing. So the leg pushes the pedal. As soon as you start to round, then the leg should be pushing. Yeah, there you go. And then you lift. Okay, switch sides when you think you're ready. Good, 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 good. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's stand to the front towards a little closer to your chair, somewhere between touching the front edge and a foot distance away, and do a set of push downs. So you'll see other toes apart. Laura, that is not how you get into it. Start with your arms all the way up, and then you round forward with your arms by your ears, heels together, Kristen, and then push the pedal down. The three pumps should put your shoulders on your back, and then it's a lift, and then push the pedal back down. You can just stay down and do three sets of three. So just stay down. You can bend the elbows wide or you can bend them narrow. Depends on what you want to work on. But the head has to be down between your arms. Some of you are looking out. Uh-huh. After the third one, lift up with your arms by your ears. Awesome. Okay, my chair people, put your chairs out of the way and lie on a mat. So, um, Amy can use this mat here. And then Laura and Kristen can use the Cadillac and the blue mat out there. All right, and you're gonna do one rep mat. You're in his bed. Diane, come here. Fred, that's okay. It's okay. I know. It's okay. It's okay. Come here. Come here. You're not with her. She'll let you. Come here. Yeah. Okay. All right, just one of your mat, one rep of your mat. And those of you watching, I want you just to pick a person to watch and just see like what looks really strong consistently and what looks like a little disconnected consistently. You like that weighted pull? It's the best. I can't even, this is the hardware store, literally in the plumbing department. So again, just because it's one rep doesn't mean yes, I want you done in 8 minutes or less, but it doesn't mean you're rushing. It means you're moving to make each rep the best of that exercise you can do. The best of that exercise. If you get stuck, of course, there's often a person nearby who can tell you what it is, but just think about how Shannon and Sarah and Vero have to know their order on their own, you know? They don't have anyone nearby to shout it out. And then no matter what exercise you're doing, there's no reason for your fingers to be spread open like pitchforks. Alyssa, slide your legs a little closer together, just a little bit. Yeah, now pull back. Do your neck pull again and round your back. It's not, you're flat here. Round. Yes. Now sit up. Mm-hmm. Got to get the round in where we can, otherwise that control balance is not coming. Mm-hmm. Shannon, you get to do your neck pull one more time. Round. I know you hate me. I know it. But you have a funny habit of stopping right there. Now round there. Now just sit up tall. Sit up. Yes. Now just round back. Yes. Beautiful. There it is. Laura, your hands interlaced. Okay. Didn't look very convincing. Thumbs with your fingers, Laura. And Vera, I know you're kind of holding yourself up there a little bit, but thumbs with your fingers. I know. You got it, babe. Go. That's so good. Kristen's gonna flex her ankles. Yeah, you're right there. You can touch it. You can touch the mat. Yes, you did it. Yeah. So eyes on that gorgeous light fixture they put in this room. It's stunning. Look at it. Yeah, there you go. Sarah, there's no bicycle on the side leg kicks. It's only on the kneeling side kicks. Yep. Okay. Bunch of people are doing it in the morning group too. I don't know where it comes from. We didn't do it. So you'll like it's already hard enough. Sarah, do those hip circles again without your elbows walking out. So find your armpits, lift your elbows and your armpits up. Yeah, now go for it. And go lower. I bet you can go lower with those circles. Yeah. Nice. Melissa, those kicks are getting really good. I would love to see them get longer, but I don't mind how high they're getting. And they have to get longer so they can take your hips with you. Eyes at your toes, not the ceiling. Eyes at your toes. Yeah. Mm. Laura, how many teaser threes are we doing? There's like five mini teasers. All right, Sarah, with those bicycles, let's do it again. Tip over. Let me walk you through it. So take it forward, bend the knee with the knee at the level of the hip. Now reach the knee back as far as you can. Now leave the thigh there and touch the wall behind you. Touch it. Now reach that forward and then reverse it. Take your leg back, take it back. Now touch your head. Touch your head. Now pull your knee all the way into your chest. Pull your knee into your chest. All the way. Bring it all as close to your chest as you can. Come on, bring it in. And then kick your leg forward. That's the bicycle. It's huge. It's like if you can bring your leg into your chest, you get to straighten it from there. Yeah. Kristen and Laura get to work on their knee being higher. Laura, use the moon box in the future so you can have a little height since your hips are tight. Nice. Reach, Pharaoh. Melissa, this is a lot better. You're not on your neck. It's a lot better. A lot better. That was a very Mary Lou Retton standing 10. Melissa, with that head, walk it back. Walk it back. You can't have it so good and then do that. Now walk out looking for your legs. So do it again. Look at your gorgeous socks. Walk your hand, the mat's right there. It's not going anywhere. Walk out looking at your gorgeous socks. Look at your socks. Look at your socks. Yeah, those are some little steps there, babe. That was better though with the head. Yeah. And then you get to look at your socks when you come in, and then take a big step back one, bigger step two, bigger step three, four, roll it up. There we go. Awesome. All right. When you finish your push-ups, you can watch Vero. I just yelled at your buddy about her head. I just did it. I'll make her teach you. Yeah, look at your gorgeous ankles. Look at those ankles. Yeah. Woo, okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's about eight. You guys did about eight. Yeah. All right. Come come to your mat, come to the computer when you're done, and then everyone can come back on camera. Laura, I kicked yours off. So, um, yeah. Okay. For the who had an aha moment, who has celebration, who has a win or a question. You do? Go ahead, Amy.
I did the mat this morning in my hotel room and I could not get my teaser, like my usual low back kind of kept pushing forward. I figured it was the mat. Anyways, but I got a good teaser today. So I was like really happy with it. Yeah. So I love that.
Yeah. Oh, because you were not on this match. Yeah, you're in a hotel room. Yeah, also, you got to warm up on a chair. Yes. And you got to connect to your seat and you got to find a longer back. But yes, I mean, like sometimes also, like, our morning bodies are different than our afternoon bodies, you know? Yeah. Yeah. Anyone else have yeah, Laura.
So I just it's a question really. So what we did the mat second. Are we not supposed to do mat first?
Oh no, you do it first. I just wanted to throw you off.
Okay, thank you.
No, I mean look, there's not like again, there's not these rules, but it would
Hmm.
be typically it's uh Jay, Sandy, anyone who ever taught with them never put me on the chair first except for 2 times. And both
Okay,
times
so
it
just for
was
the chair
because
weekend, that's why we're doing chair first.
yeah, and
Okay.
most times it was because there was literally nothing available for me.
Hmm. Okay.
So I like the guillotine was available. It's like ugh, I'd rather not start on the guillotine if I can help it. Um, so um, an advanced client you could do more chair with, right? Like if someone's coming 3 or 4 times a week and they're an advanced client, yeah, maybe they do a whole chair, you know? Um, maybe they do a bunch of Cadillac and then they do a chair because it's like their fourth session of the week, right? But for you guys, one, it's a chair weekend. I wanted to see what you remembered, um, setup wise. And it was really revealing. Yesterday, you guys were like spot on with those feet, and then today, no, not so much. So, so, uh, but yeah, I also think like if you only have 30 minutes, look at how you could like do a 1 rep mat and 20 minutes of chair. You could do 20 minutes of chair and do a 1 rep mat. Like, I think sometimes we think we have to have all this time to dedicate to our Pilates practice, and you don't. Don't. You don't need it. Like, you need it. Pilates works better if you do it more quantity of times during the week, and the number of minutes can vary based on what you can do. Right? I would rather someone do Pilates 20 minutes a week, 20 minutes at a time, 4 days a week, right? That's 80 minutes applies over the week, right? Than someone do one session a week, like one 50-minute session a week. Like that is good, but like it's like just consistently making your body bend in these shapes and connect. You are going to have way more benefits, even with those mini sessions, than someone who does even an 80-minute session once a week won't get it. Like it's not like for like that way. It's got to be because our body needs us to do this daily, just like we're supposed to stretch daily, just supposed to walk daily. Like there's a reason why you're supposed to get 10,000 steps. And I know they changed it to 5,000 because people were feeling bad about themselves. I don't know why we don't just go, learn to feel a little bit bad about yourself and find time because we know the 10,000 steps is better. But at any rate, like it's just that. So that's why, Laura. That's why. Mostly just to mess with you guys a little bit and to now that you're warmed up, even just warming up with the chair, even though it's more advanced and it's very demanding, look what you guys did. Better teasers, right? There was some really good stuff. Melissa usually has a super tight thoracic and it was way more open. Yeah. hmm What else? What else did we see? What questions do we have? Yeah, Vera.
It's been so long since I did the ab series on top of the chair. And and now I have a one-to chair, but at my studio they're all combo chairs, which is even harder. And it
Oh,
was just like it was such a reminder of like, dang, gotta keep working that because it's so different than having the support of the mat underneath you. And just incredible.
yeah. When you do it on top, it's really the same amount of mat you really need, but people take more, but also you're up higher and it plays with the brain, the gravitational pull on the neck. I will say if you need even more space, this is from Megan. Megan Laman, she was in round 3. She's an OPC teacher. She turns people who are even on the diagonal. So if the long ways is still you want more, you can go diagonal and it gives you just like even a little bit more length. Right? So I would say like more supportive is on the diagonal than long than short. Yeah. Yeah. I had a teacher have me do the ab series on top of a moon box, guys. And you can do it on top of a barrel. It all of it just changes like, I lean to one, what, I let my pelvis drop too much. It's all there. Yeah. Super fun. And also, like, if you have 1 minute to work out, you could just do your ab stairs on top of your chair. Holy moly. Is that going to kick your butt? It's going to like get all the spots. Yeah. All right. Anyone else? Observations, questions? Yeah, Melissa.
Okay, back to the tight upper back. The magic happened, Leslie, when you were watching me on the neck pull. You're like, wait a second. Even on the
Yeah.
neck pull first, the neck pull sent me into the brain on control balance. So I was like, oh, yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I want you to watch it back because when you see your neck pull, you tend to just go too far. Like you're kind of more of a hinge at your hips versus that long round. So you picked it up and then that get allowed you to stretch more. I think most people's neck pull, they go too far forward because it's so hard to get up. They're like, once I'm here, they're like, I just gotta keep going. You gotta create space. And then um Shannon also does a little bit too far like you did. The difference is how you guys roll up is a little different. Shannon rolls up kind of like leading with the tall back first, and you want neck pull to be like rowing four, where you come up from a round to a tall. Now, I know from Shannon and a couple other people's trainings that they actually are taught to sit up and then lean back. And I asked Jay about the lean back, and he goes, that was never a thing in Joe's studio. My theory is most people, when they roll up, are sitting in front of their sits bones. And so a lean back was put in there to get people where they needed to be to round back. Now, there's also like some people are like, oh, in the short box, you do like a hinge back. But I find almost all bodies, when they do the lean back, their quads just turn right on and they're not in a tall back anymore. They're almost arched. And then when they round, they slouch. So there's very few people I see do it as a long, the neck pull, the actual pull is on the way down. That's why the interlaced hands is so important because you're going to take your hands at that base of your head. And as you roll down, you're pulling traction on your own neck. And you're pushing your head into your hands and your hands into your head, and you're pulling. And the neck pull is on the down. And yes, you roll up and you're pushing. And then right there, Shannon, now pull your stomach back, push your head into your hands, and pull traction on your occiput, like the occipital bones. So roll back and pull on your head. Roll back and pull on your head. Roll back and pull on your head and pull on your head. And it's so good. And sometimes I get an adjustment. Like there have been times when on a good mat with a strap and a whole connection, it goes right. Also happens on the barrels. Yeah. Cool. But yes, now that your back knows what to do, it can do it, Melissa. You don't have to memorize that tightness. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
And I don't know if you know this answer, maybe Jay, but like, what's with Romana with the hand like this? Because like I always like, I love this better because I get a bigger grip, but some people are like so insistent that they have to be stacked. Have you ever heard anything about that?
Yeah, Jay said you could do it, but I don't know why they were insistent on that. I know that some people are like, oh, that way you switch because sometimes we always interlace the same one on top. Like some people get why um I see most people don't do this is it's really easy for the hands to do this, right? Like it's just easy. I also personally don't find any strength in this. Like my personal self. But Jay was like, okay, if you find that that works, but you have to keep them layered, right? You have to keep them layered and like look at people. Like they're just like even interlaced. Some of you, Kristen, you guys are like, and it's like get the webs, But yeah, it wasn't it's possible that like Joe really wanted it like that, but I think if you all try it, like you'll find, because even in double straight leg stretch, I guess you can, you know what you can do, Amy, like as we're talking this out, you can actually get the elbows narrower. So I guess it'd be more of a challenge. It would be more of a challenge to have the hands layered. So you could do that, I guess. Anyways,
What
um,
what made you
yeah.
think my hands weren't laced? Was I doing something wrong?
Your elbows seemed lazy. They
Well,
looked
give me
wider
my shoulder.
apart than they
Okay.
normally are. And when you turn to the
Okay.
side, it just looked like they weren't totally together. It just looked a little like, you know, just not there, like not on your head.
Okay.
Yeah, because when they're interlaced and they're pushing into your head, I shouldn't see a gap from the hands to the head. It should be like they're because they're pushing and pulling, right? Yeah. With the elbows, like how where they're at. Yeah, so obviously if they're too wide, you're pinching your shoulder blades together so you don't have a wide back. And if they're too narrow, then you also now your shoulders are off your back. So it's like shit, it's most to mimic shave, right? So it's kind of like when you push your head into your hands, hands into your head, you should feel like the shave of the upper back, right? And so if you play with your elbows, like this actually for sure is a way to stretch your upper back. And this is a way to retract, but you want to find there's an in between where you can get the biggest width and strength and the shoulders aren't winging, right? Yeah. Yeah. All right. Anything else? We have a lot of exercises to cover. We're gonna just go through a bunch, play, go through a bunch, play. Um, Can y'all toss, if you have access to, not the people at my home, but the people not at my home, if you have access to an armchair, will you toss it in the chat? Because I just want to plan ahead for that. I really like you guys to see different bodies doing the armchair. All right, let's go on to one middle spring, and then Andrea, if I can get the pretty swirly wall spotlit, please. Okay. All right, Amy, come on up. Give you a little space. That's probably good. That's probably good. Okay, you're one middle. Let's do some swan. So you want the hands. Come on for a second. Let's just move it a little closer to the wall. You're kind of at the edge. Camera. There you go. Go ahead. All right. So some people do fancy transitions onto the swan. That was not really a big deal in the studio. It was like, don't like throw yourself on there, but like get on with control. You want the wrists as straight as possible. That's where I see a lot of mistakes is that the wrists are very bent. You want them at that edge because you're kind of pulling back. Then the legs, something you want to watch for. It's the same as your pull strap legs, your swan legs, single leg, kick legs. We want those inner hamstrings working. Yes, you can have heels together if they can do it without being too much in the lower back, but you also don't want the feet to be higher than the seat, right? It should just be straight out. That's something to look for. And then ideally, these don't move around, right? So then when she does her pumps, she should be in a tall back, okay? And something that Amy's, hold on, you're not really in a tall back. Yeah. So something, yeah, we have to find like how do we get these ribs up, but then your thoracic longer. Oh, I know. It's hard. Yeah. So some people won't touch the floor with the pedal because if they do, they're at a down decline, right? Go ahead and bend your elbows 3 times. Ah, okay. So Amy is showing you that when you bend your elbows 3 times, sometimes you lose your back, like your center. Right now, she's already arching. And then you're gonna pull your heart forward, one lift. Uh-huh. And then go back down. So you're doing it again. So 3 pumps. It's a little better. Yeah, it's okay. You and like Elizabeth from this morning want to have that thoracic rounding. And then you come up really high, which is really pretty, but it might feel good. But we want, go ahead and pump 3 times. I'd love this to be longer and this to be lifted. Longer and yeah. Mhm. It's so hard. have my kryptonite in this exercise is starting in extension already, starting with my lower back down and my upper back in extension. Then take your hand. So for a single arm swan, the hand doesn't go dead center. It goes between where it is and the center. And then the arm goes out to the side and it goes straight out. So Vera earlier wanted to be like an airplane wing back. It'll be straight out like a T. And then you pump 3 times. Now, do you have to do the single arm every time you do 2 arms? No. In theory, we'd only do this if the 2 arm looked really, really good, right? And then come back down. Reach these legs a little. What if your feet didn't work so much? Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now lengthen your heart forward. And lower down. And bend 3 times. And then lengthen your heart. Go ahead and switch. So that arm out to the side really has to reach out to the side to maintain the twist from happening. You use it like a rudder, okay? But people who are asymmetrical will feel like, oh my God, my legs are going to one side. You're showing a great twist. Yeah. And so sometimes she feels it. Sometimes, like, there's nothing for me to say, right? Like, everyone's going to go, oh, lift this up. Oh, pull this back. No, there's nothing to say. She can feel what's going on, and it's showing me, wow, okay, this is explaining a lot about something I've been trying to figure out in Amy's body. Go ahead and rest one hand to the top of the chair. The dismount is one hand to the top of the chair, feet to the floor, and come all up. Something I've been trying to figure out in Amy's body is like her back, when she's for side kicks, moves a lot. And I'm like, what is going on in the side kicks? And I think like that kind of reveals like, oh, when you only have one side, what are we doing here, right? So, okay, let's do a push down from the back. So when you have a winded chair that doesn't have an edge on the floor where your toes are, like exo chairs, you want to make sure that you use the back of the chair where the chair ends to kind of create an imaginary line, right? So like there's a chair edge here, right? You know how the exo chair is like an empty hole. So you've got to go, oh, there's a chair edge. You have to make it. And it should be at the back edge. Then arms up, round forward. And so she leaned back to round forward, right? To a little, yeah, she did in her knees. And then you want the heel of the hand on the pedal. And then she's going to push the pedal away from her center and pick it back up. So we're trying to stay in a round the whole time. It's the longest round. It's the longest round. Now, I had always thought it was like, oh, let me round into a tall back, kind of like the kneeling push down with the pusher bar. Yes, without not with the neck, but just the spine, right? Yeah. And so your neck gets long but not extended. And I did this in front of Jay for a while, and Jay's like, what are you doing? And I was like, oh, I thought it was round to tall. And he goes, I don't hate what you're doing, but it's not. And so I just like to say, you might want to work on round to tall with someone, right? And this is a great place to do it, but just make sure it's not round to extension. So she's doing a good job not sticking her butt out. Yeah. And that's so many of those. You can come all the way up. If you want to add the shave, you can. So ready? Yep. Go again, but try not to stick your knees out. Just put what's that? Well, the worst that's going to happen is you fall into the pedal. There you go. All right. Now she pushes down and then she bends her elbows 3 times. And the shave, right, is to help her get her arms on the back. And then she closes the spring. And then now it's plenty. I think they got the drift. And then she's got to pick it back up. Yeah. Thank you. Awesome. Kristen, come on over. Thanks for walking in. You can do push down from the front. Okay. So some of you were probably taught the rule. It has to be a foot distance away from the chair. And the reality is that like maybe, right? Personally, I play with like being a little closer, right? And it's not because I don't want to have a challenge of rounding forward and having to hold on to things, but when I'm down there, I have to have a challenge of how long can I get in the shape, because tendon stretch is a hard thing for me. So I would say pick between toes touching the chair and being one of your footsteps away. Somewhere usually around the half of their footstep is good. Okay. Arms up. We're still on one middle, which is a 2 usually for most chairs. All right. Round forward. And I saw Kristen got light on her heels. Everyone does this when they like to kind of use their knees instead of their hamstrings, right? Okay. Now, Thank you. Push the pedal down as far as you can go. So the goal would be the floor, but not everyone can get to the floor. Okay. And then she's going to bend her elbows 3 times. She can bend like a shave, elbows wide, or she can bend like a tricep. So if she's trying to work on her push-ups, she can bend on a tricep, right? You're trying to close the spring if you can, but your head is hanging down. Yes. Okay. Push your arms to straight. Lift up your center to close the spring. Uh-huh. So do you feel how you pushed your shoulders off your back to do that? Go ahead and do it again. Push down. So you do 3 sets of 3 before you come all the way up. And drop us 3 times. So use this to find your shoulders on your back. Drop your head, lift your center. Yeah. Now, Kristen, let the spring have your shoulders on your back and you lift from your center. So we're not pushing the pedal away from you. You're letting the pedal help push you. That's better. Do you feel that difference? Okay. One more time. Push it down. And then 3 pumps. A little more stomach. And then one lift. And this time you lift all the way up from your center. Once the spring closes, both hands leave the pedal at the same time. Yeah. Okay. One hand behind your head, arm up, round forward. hmm Without leaning back. So lift up. Yeah. There you go. And then push the pedal down. So we already know from Amy, this is probably going to be a twist. So let's see how Kristen does. So the same thing we talked about with the neck pull, right? She's going to push her head into her hands, but her hand into her head to help her find that hundreds curl. Okay. And then she's going to pump 3 times. Lift. Yeah. And then hold it. Lift this up. Lift yourself up to close the spring. And then push it back down. Yeah. Nice. You're twisted, but you got it. Pump 3 times. So Kristen's going to figure out what she has to do in her legs and her arms to help her find even. And then she's going to roll up from her center with a straight arm and then push it down. Last one, bend your elbow 3 times. Push your head into your hands. And then lift. And then lift the hand off the pedal. Yeah, switch sides. Okay. So push down is really great for a beginner, not because it's easy. It's kind of safe, right? They can start to feel what the pedal does, where to put their hands, like how it goes. It's a really great exercise tool for people who are struggling to understand the roll up and how the arms have to be connected to the back, right? It's a great way for them to push into the floor with their legs. Single arm push down is not for beginners because it requires a lot to stay even, right? So Kristen's doing a good job on her way up, but as she pumps the pedals, when she starts to lose her twist, so we can see that as she loses the spring, she's losing her length. So that's me practice for her. How does she use the spring to find it, and then and she loses it, keep it, right? It's an advanced thought, to the more advanced thing. Lift all the way up. Good. Thanks. All right. Christine's going to do push down but with 2 bottom springs. So there's a reason why you might want to use 2 springs for your push down. All right. Heels together, arms up, and then round forward. So same exercise, but now the spring is heavier. Mostly because Christine likes to fidget with her shoulders. Bend your elbows, stay down there, then 3 times. So sometimes I want to use a heavier spring with people because then they can really feel, oh my God, I stomach. And now when she lifts up, she has to resist the spring, right? It's going to push her around, push it down. You could even do a top bottom spring, even like you can do a heavy spring on this because there's 2 hands. And it's really like, oh, this is how much I have to use to resist this. hmm Last one. I would not do a single arm push down on a heavier spring, just this one. Uh-huh. Different, yeah? Okay, it feels really good. I like it. That, especially for people who struggle with the roll up, I really like a two spring push down. All right, step back here, push down from the side, heels together, toes apart. So you want the bottom edge of this chair to hit where her heels are squeezing together. Okay, and then arms go up, roll round forward, and then once this left hand hits the pedal, your right hand reaches for the ceiling, palm in. Yep. Now stay even and round, push the pedal down. And then she's going to pump the pedal 3 times. So you can see how she wants to lose her round shape here, right? Hmm? I know you're trying really hard. Because oftentimes she finds her round from her shoulders, right? So we're taking that away from her because the spring pumping is forcing her shoulder to be on her back. Then come all the way up, and then that hand joins you, right? Now it is push down for the side, is round up and down. It's the same as all the push downs. However, if you wanted to make it more like you're trying to work on the twist, go ahead and go arms up and around. And then as she pushes the pedal down, she looks at this hand and then she unwinds to pull it up. And then she winds up and she winds down. And I can look at what's going on with her hips. Is she leaning? With the most important thing to do is to make sure that you know which one you're doing. We don't want them in between. Okay. Be intentional and then roll it up, unwind. All right. Let's do one more push down. Come kneeling on top of this. So if you're alone, play with this on one top spring, okay? Um, Heels together, toes apart. And you want to be center towards the back, not center towards the front. Yeah. Arms up. All right. So to do this, you want to have a good thigh stretch, chest extension. You want the hips over the knees, okay? Because she's got to keep it there, round forward like you're doing the push down. Mm-hmm. All right. And then get your hips over your knees. Uh-huh. And then head down and then push down and up. You don't want to probably go all the way to the floor because that's now your hips are going past your knees. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then close the spring on the next one and come all the way up with your hips over your knees. Good. Now, there wasn't a shave on this in Joe's studio, but I did it in front of Jay and he didn't hate it. He's like, I actually really like that on you. So round forward. So you could do it, but remember, you have to be able to live without the spring. So go ahead, don't go all the way down, babe. Then drop us 3 times because do I mean, you don't want to be too far over yourself. And then after 3 of those, close the spring, hips over the knees. Cool. Plenty. Good exercise if you're trying to get more out of your crab, right? All that stuff. All right. Let's practice and play with those ones that we just did, and I will figure out what's. Who are you? Hmm. Okay, let me. Probably not. Let me get my husband, and he'll talk to you. All right, guys. Oh, Tracy, you get to do that again. When you come up, you always want your arms with your ears. When you come up, always want your arms with your ears. It's part of finishing the exercise. So you round down, heels together, toes apart. And yeah, good job not trying to lock your knees out. Stay in your glutes. Should feel like a deadlift. Shannon, I do want to see your kneeling push down again. Yeah. I'm sorry. Don't hate me. I want to see your kneeling push down again. There you go. A little twist in your back. Oh, you are twisting. Okay. So just make sure you untwist. Untwist. Yes. All right. Here's Shannon's kneeling. Squeeze your heels together, Shannon. It will help. hmm Yep. 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 Okay. Now use the pedal, Shannon, to move your hips over your knees. Forward, 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 forwards. More hips forward. Drop your head. Okay. Push the pedal down from there. Uh-huh. Now lift your ribs up. Yes. Uh-huh. All right, Shannon, squeeze your heels and lift off that pedal from your ribs. Think crab, babe. You got it, babe. Yes, ma'am. You got it. You got it. You got it. You got it. Yes. Yeah. You don't want to go slow on that, but that was really good. Really good. All right. Come around the fire, children. We'll have more time to practice and play. I wanted just a couple questions that kind of came up here that I was muted for, and I want to answer them. So, on some of the classical chairs, there is a wood on the bottom for this is pushed down from the back that matches the way the chair is shaped on top. In those cases, you can still put your toes to the edge. When I was explaining what to do, I was talking about like the chairs that have no bottom, right? Like a lot of the combo chairs, exo chairs, there's no frame on the bottom and the back. It's just the corners. In that case, you want to make a line because I don't want people's thighs touching the chair. The push down, what you on that from the back, what you're looking at is like, can they round forward without leaning forward? Right. So that's really important. If they can't, then we don't do the exercise until they have more length in their hamstrings, more lift in their center. Even the most fun size of people can do push down from the back. One of my clients is 5'2" and she can do it, right? It's not a huge movement. That's okay. Second thing, the heel of the hand needs to be on the pedal. A lot of you are pushing it with your fingers. Heel of the hand needs to be on the pedal. That's what pushes the pedal. Okay. Third thing, there was a question about the swan dive. I realized we didn't do the dive together. So, Andrea, will you spotlight the pretty chair, the pretty wall, please? So the swan dive, you do it, you enter it from swan. So not everyone will do it. You enter it from swan. You do your swan. You lift from the top. You go into the dive. And the question was, are the elbows bent the whole time? And they're not. They're straight, 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 and ideally straight until they have to bend. And then they're straight, 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 straight. Some people start bending too soon. Trust that you can get here, and then you bend. All right. Then someday you lift into a swan. And yes, the goal would then be after that would be they go forward and you don't die. And I haven't achieved that in my practice, but there's always goals. There's goals. Okay. All right. I think that was a lot of a couple other things. If you are working with a tighter back, when you do push down from the front, I was working with this with Carrie, right? We had Carrie on yesterday and we were working on her pull up, and she's got like so much of the pull up, but the pedal isn't lifting because her back needs to be opened up more. So when you do the push down, you want to put that person in the foot position that opens their back the most. So it might be closer to the chair. So it's a bigger stretch, or it might be further away, right? It's going to depend on the body, on their dimensions, but I would also play with two springs so they have to use their center to control that pedal. All right. Um, Christine asked about is one middle spring on the one to chair the same as a balanced body combo chair as one black spring on a two? I think it is. I think a black spring on a two is the same as one middle. That being said, depends how new or old that spring is. Because my experience with the coated colored springs is the more they're used, it changes it. So that's what's fun about when you guys can work on classical chairs and then you go back to your contemporary equipment. You know what it felt like in your body, and then you can go from there. Even if you're teaching them with a different body, the more you know how it's supposed to feel in your body, the easier it is for you to go, oh, that's too much for me. If it's too much for me, is it too much for them, or is it enough for them? Right? That's how you play with it. So yeah, something to keep in mind. But typically it is. I know a lot of people this morning, they were talking about how like a lot of studios, they use the three as a middle spring. I find that to be on the heavier side. Could almost be like too pushy. Like I can do a swan dive on a three, but a swan on a three is going to push me off my center, right? Yeah. I put a three for kneeling, push down. Yeah. You kidding? That's a that's a dream. But it might not, it might actually make it look like they can do an exercise they're not ready for yet. Right? All right. Any other questions on what you guys just went through? Okay, let's keep going. Andrew, if I can get a spotlight, and then let's get a Laura in here. Laura, come on down. You are the next contestant. Oh, that would be me. No, we're not going to do that to her. Not going to do that to her. I know what it's um yeah, it is hot in here. I'm never in here in the afternoon. Now I know why. Step to the front. It's okay. We're just going to sweat and our natural deodorant is going to not hang out, and everyone's going to be fine with it. All right, so you want to be two of your own foot distance away from the chair. Yeah, heels the other toes apart. Now remember, every way that you get into an exercise and how you get out of it matters. Yes, and try to do it without bending the knee. So try to do it with a long Pilates leg. Yes, strong from the center. Okay, perfect. Hands on your hips, or they could be behind your head, right? Yeah, that's totally fine. Now, when you move, everything moves. Okay, so we don't want to see you round your back and then push the leg, or you push the leg then round back. See if you can go from your center, the pedal moves and you round. And then you lift up and the pedal lifts. Now your spine rounded a lot and the pedal didn't really move a lot. So see if you can get more of the back of this leg from here, not here, not here, not here. Here. Good. And lift up. And again, more hamstring, less calf. Getting better. Do you feel that? Yeah. Good. It's like 3 to 5 of those. Yeah, that butt. Yeah. But this exercise I really love. And again, if you're at home, I'm not a big fan of mirrors, but sometimes I am. This is an exercise I like a mirror straight in front. When I did the guillotine shoot for the accessories deck, the studio's at, I opened the bathroom door and I could see myself in the mirror. And I like, because there's a guillotine exercise, it's the same thing. And I can go, oh, there's my hip. Okay. And then you know what I mean? Because like sometimes you don't feel it. So yeah. Okay. Take that foot off. Oh, it's got to go. It's an exercise. Yeah. There you go. Other side. There we go. Round. Like 3 to 5 of these is really good. The foot you're standing on is turned out. The foot on the pedal is not. The reason is most people when they turn out with the foot on the pedal is they push from the side of the leg. It's your single straight leg stretch. The side, okay, so the standing leg side and back is a Ramana thing. Yeah. And depending on your chair and your body is whether you can do it or not. So in case you don't know, there was um a side one. So you go from the front to the side and then to the back. Okay. That's one of the reasons we don't do it. Second, it wasn't done. Joe didn't do it. It was definitely, it was always for the dancers. It was just for the dancers. And like, look, if you teach a host of dancers, by all means, go and think about all these things. If you have a bunch of figure skaters coming through, but most of us are teaching like actual human beings. And actual human beings need to have mobility and strength, but most of them lack strength in the back of their legs. Most of them do, right? Most of them lack mobility in their hips. So how could you do that? Like, there's also some people who teach a lying down, a one to chair series where you squeeze the pedal down. I only saw that in Jay's studio when Jay was in the hospital with a heart attack. Like, he couldn't teach the workshop, and someone goes, "Is this a thing?" And I was like, "Oh, thank God, Jay's in the hospital." Yeah, yeah. I was like, "Thank God, Jay's in the hospital." And they're like, "Yeah, no, yeah, no." But that's okay. It's not like it's wrong. It's not like it's bad. It's just like, what are you doing it for, and can we get it somewhere else? And is it necessary? Also, like most people don't have space on their floor for these things. And then the other thing to think about is like, um, we don't want to spend a ton of time setting up. Notice how I've been teaching you. We're on one middle for as long as we can be. So we'll talk more about this tomorrow, but like just like the Cadillac, I don't want you to lose the connections, right, of the thing. So you try to not have to do too much setup all of the time so that you can flow. Pilates creates endurance and stamina. Yeah. Okay. So now, Laura, you did that one. What else can we do on one middle with you? Come and lie on one hip. Side sit-ups. So, yep, you're doing perfect. You're doing a great job. Okay, this hand's gonna go here on your thigh. Some people call this fish. Okay, the legs squeeze together. It's the legs at the level of your hip, and you're just gonna slide up and slide down and slide up and slide down. Yes, it does. Go higher, go too high. That's pretty good, right? Usually, she did a great job. Usually people go too high, their legs go forward, their butt sticks out, or they lean back. Long as she can stay on one hip, keep the leg straight, and keep her arm reaching from her back, she's good, right? Great. Okay, I'm going to have you teach a twisting swan. And try? Yeah. So your hip is here. This hand is going to come down into the pedal, probably just the fingertips, though. Yep, and then move your hand. You got it. So this hand of the heel of the hand is on. This hand is whatever can touch. And then you're going to open your heart up, squeeze your legs together, and lift your chest and lower back down. And lift your heart. Try to get more heart up. Yeah. So less height, more heart. So see how this hip wants to tip, right? And that's okay. Just working it. And then if we wanted to, we could take this top leg back. Go ahead and squeeze me. Yeah. Lift your heart. Always say the top leg back. Why? Because it pulls the heart forward. How you feeling? It's so deep. I feel like my psoas gets a big stretch. Yeah. All right. I'm going to get out. You're going to close your legs and then carefully lift your pedal. Cool. You can practice the other side when we practice. Thank you. Thanks for coming. Okay. We need a Sue. We need a Sue. While we're waiting for Sue, I'll do the horseback. Okay. So the horseback, people hate it on the chair because they think it's mean. I love it on the chair. It's so good. You squeeze the heck out of your legs so feet start flexed, arms go up, and then you round and point your feet. Your butt lifts because you squeeze so much. Look how high my legs are. And then I reach the pedal away. Then you squeeze the chair, flex the feet, have a seat. Okay. So again, move from the center. Okay. I don't want to see the legs go down for you to get to the pedal. Like stay up. All right, Sue. Come and thank you. You're gonna sit in front. Mm-hmm. Okay, so your heel of your hand has to be on the pedal, so you'll have to move maybe a little forward. We want your shoulders over your hips, right? So we want you leaning forward just yet. Okay. You might have to get closer. Yeah, I know, super comfortable. Okay, dig your heels down, flex your feet. So this is the world's smallest spine stretch forward. It's more of an internal exercise than it is an external showing. Okay. So you press into your hands, and that should make you lift so tall. And then you round, and then you lift up. And what the goal is that we don't want her to round back. So she's going to go up and almost like she's trying to round over the pedal. That's really nice. That's really hard. Yeah. Yeah. Where do you feel it? Oh yeah, she feels it in her abs. Yeah, it is like it's so internal. Yeah, yeah. So Sue, if I didn't tell you what this looks like, I'm sure you've seen people do it badly. Can you show us what a bad one is? Okay, okay, just so we're clear. Yeah, and what did you feel? Nothing, nothing, right? Nothing. You're just like kind of hanging off stuff. Okay, so now put your legs on top. And so her legs go wherever she can get her heel of her hand on the pedal, ideally. Squeeze your heels together. You don't have to lift your legs, okay? I also realize you're on tile. Okay, so here we go. Hopefully you're not on your tailbone. So push into the pedal as like a chest expansion. So don't lean back. Yeah, you're almost like you're trying to do open leg rocker. Uh-huh. And lift the pedal. Point the feet. Uh-huh. And press into the pedal. hmm Yeah. Yeah, it's not horseback. Just yeah. Okay. Now think about it. Press into the pedal and lift your legs. And now pump the pedal 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and rest the legs. Ooh, how'd that feel? Nice. Yeah. Yeah, but in your quads. Yes, you were in your quads. The goal, they will work, but you do want to feel like outer hips and inner thighs. Also, like more like a band versus solo. Okay. Try again. Lift your arms up, lift the pedal up, squeeze the heels tight together. Point your feet. Push the pedal down and pulse 1, 2, 3, and rest. Yeah. Okay, plenty. Thanks. All done. So you can press the pedal and lift the legs simultaneously, press the pedal, lift the legs simultaneously. And if it goes well, hold the legs up and 3 chest expansions. Okay. All right. Let's do 2 more things here. Amy, come on up. Step in front. We'll do a piano frog. All right. So, I meant to say this, and I know we have some AM people in here. So, AM people, spread the word tomorrow. Okay. For those of you trying to figure out what the swan positioning on the reformer is, knees inside the frame, knees outside the frame. The piano frog has all the answers. So heels together, toes apart. You're going to be pretty close because you want the heel of the hand to land on the pedal, right? Arms out the front. You will lift your heels when they need to. So don't artificially lift them.
And I have to keep my head.
That would be a great, that'd be great. And then bend your knees. And get the heel of your hand on the pedal. And then 3 chest expansions. And then press up. So her knees were kind of wide, right? No, it's fine. You might be an outside framer, right? You might be, maybe, right? Because mine are not so wide, right? So that's how you know. Now, as long as she didn't feel like she was just sitting there, some people can like just like sit here, right? And they're like, "Doo, doo, doo," right? You got to be in the muscles. Yeah. Okay. 3 sets of 3. Do another set from, yeah, show them all. Mm-hmm. Bend your knees. Mm-hmm. Squeeze those heels. Lift your chest and lift up. One of the things I see go wrong here is it becomes like an elbow bend. So just make sure it's a little bit, a little strong arm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Killed. Yeah. Good. Okay. Good job. Thank you. Okay. Have a seat on top. Sit side saddle. Inside leg, outside arm, and point your foot. Yeah. Yeah. And then big side bend. And if your heel of your hand can hit the pedal, great. And if you can keep going, great. And then you come all the way up. Mm-hmm. It's pretty great. I want a little more out of your inner thighs, but you're good. Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Now we'll do the kneeling one. So yes, you can do a fancy thigh stretch down into your knees if you want, or you can also just get on your knee. You want to show it? Yeah. Do you want another pad? How about let's just give you a bigger landing strip? There you go. Yeah, you thigh stretch in. And the goal is like to really thigh stretch in. Okay. And then heel of your hand. I just do with fingers that way. Yeah. hmm And then you get to fill up your back here. Yeah. I know. I can't. Everyone's going to have fun with Amy on the armchair. Okay. Everyone's going to have fun. Amy on the armchair, Amy on the high chair, feedback. Yeah. So those are our mermaids. It's a thing at TPC. Yeah. Yeah. If you want, it's not a thing that I do with Jay. It's just down and up. Because it's hard, mermaid is hard enough, right? Hard enough. And so like here's why you pump. Anytime there's pumps or shades, it is to connect the arm to the back. So to me, if you're gonna pump in mermaid, it's because you think that their arm isn't connected to their back, right? If their arm is connected, like on that, right? In the push down, the goal is to teach that and also challenge like, oh my God, I'm rounded forward and I have no spring. So that's going to help you with crab and all this stuff. On the mermaid, I don't think the pumping is very necessary. Yeah. I think if you did all the pumping you did, when you get to mermaid, it's complicated enough. Can you side bend both sides evenly and get back up without twisting? Most people are twisting. You twist a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. All right. I think that's a lot of exercises to practice. We went through a bunch. So let's do that. Let's practice. My models stay in it. Fix the side that's uneven, please. And then the morning crew suggests that you turn off your camera if you're not using it so that on your replay, it's easier to see what's going on. That's up to your ADHD brains. Mhm. Oh, you have to lift the pedal up every time. So you always want to, everyone who's trying to like figure out chairs, always take your hand to lift the pedal. It makes the springs light and then you can move them around. Hmm. Everybody. Everybody is fine. Switch forward run because they want it to be so big. Hmm. I think it's advanced. I think it's like, if they, also, if they're not doing a good spine switch forward, how is this going to help them? It's not, you know. You could even do it with a magic circle, right? Because if they overpower the magic circle, it falls out. So it's just like pressing the magic circle, come up, press. That's probably the most equivalent that you could get it, right? Also, you can make them stand behind someone, and if they push into the person standing back there, like that tells them to. Shannon, come up less high. Is that a top spring? It looks like a heavy spring. Hold it here, babe. Yeah, more forward with your chest. That's better. That's better. I want your top hip back towards me. Sarah, I understand that you are on the petite side, but yeah, we want the legs on the side of the chair because it's an inner thigh exercise. Yeah, Vero. Wait a Oh, we got short. We got short. Mhm. Yeah, see how her back is arched? No, her hands have to be there. But put your hand, Amy, on her mid back. So she needs to bring her heart to her hands. Hmm. Yeah, and then come back up and then have her do it again without raising her shoulders. The shoulders don't move, Christine. The lung cage, the what do you call it? The lung cage, the rib cage. Rib cage moves, yeah. That's it, Carrie. Lift your chest, babe. Yeah. Oh, that was low. That was low, but that was good. We went a little more booty down, but I like it. Okay, Melissa, do that again without leaning. That was a smidgen leaned back. It was a smidgen back. All right, Shannon, get those legs up more parallel to the floor. I know you'll hate it, but you'll love me. Yes, squeeze that and point your feet. Uh-huh. Oh, your legs are getting lower. Lift the once you get the pedal, lift your legs up. Yes, ma'am. Hold those legs there. Yes. Straight arms, Sarah. Straight arms, baby. Yep. Straight. Yeah. Sarah, you may want to scoot a teeny bit closer so you really truly have the heel of your hand on there. And then instead of the shoulder blades going back and forth, think chest expansion, right? Chest. Oh, straight arms. Chest expand. Yes. Yep. I know you might have to graze your legs. It's okay. Hmm. And with those of you who are doing the piano frog, sometimes we're too close, sometimes we're too far away. So sometimes you have to reset. Oh yeah, it really there the air is good. It's just that you're right in the sun. Tomorrow will be 110. I'll have to figure that out. So my toes touch the chair just because, but like everyone's a little different. And then double check that you're not just like hanging your flexibility. You should feel like you're in your hamstrings or your booty. Yeah. And Vera, there's a little bit of a lean back happening. All right, Sue, let me see length. I want to see length, Sue. Yeah, I think that you're not a three. I think you're a two. So many people are. And also, like, they're like, oh, I want them to do it. So let me change the spring. And it's like, yes and no, right? Like yesterday, I was adamant with Vicky, no, she does not get extra springs because she didn't need them. I gave Carrie extra springs, not because I wanted her to lift the pedal, but I wanted her to really truly trust the reach. But if we're doing the heavier springs so they can move, we might want to ask ourselves, like, look, are they a 6'4" person? Maybe it's a four. But if they're average size, probably we need to figure out why can't they? Should we take them to the tower? Should they do the one with the rollback bar? Right? Should we have them on a mat and try to like slide up and down? Right? And then sometimes it's like, okay, let's do it so you can see it. Sometimes, but if you're like, you should be able to do this. Like when your gut's like, why can't they do it? Sometimes I can see why, and it's okay, but then go back down. But that's very rarely in a group. They're not that they're not being in tuned, you know? And I think that's where it's like, I actually don't want you to move the spring. Like I think it was this morning we were talking about how can they do star in a group class? It's like I would do it with like literally the lightest spring so they could not move the pedal and then make them lift their leg and lift their arm and really stack their hips and they're going to get work out of that, you know? But no one's dangerous. No one's going to move it. Yeah, that's a good question. I'll answer that with everyone because I think it's important. I really love Vero's teachers. Look at these dogs are making sure that you're aligned, Vero. They're very, I don't think you need the pumps there. I think there's enough pumps in the first one. Yeah. I think like the swan with because my friend who taught me the twisted swan and the Barbie legs. You know, she studied with Ramona during the time of like the lawsuit. There was no pumps on that. You always did it because you've done the swan and you did it well. So you've done the pumps, done it well. Last 2 minutes practicing these. There will be more time to practice, so make sure you get in what you want to get in. Yeah, there you go. Uh-huh. More, and also you need more bottom, more butt. That bottom glute has to be on. Wynn had a hard time with it on her one glute that she always, someone needs a ruler if she ever leans into that hip. Yeah, yeah. She needs to do her yeah. No, her right, I think it's her right foot does this funky little like lazy, like a lazy, like, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. We just have stuff. Yeah. You squeeze both legs, squeeze her, squeeze her. Yeah. See how that top hip is forward, Amy? It seems to be back. Yeah. And so, Christine, instead of trying to get both heels of your hands on the pedal, just do the right heel to hand the left fingertips. Yeah. Yes, you want square shoulders, but not sacrificing the square hips. Hmm. All right, guys, let's bring it back. Oh, Sue is gonna point her feet. Mhm. All right. Come back to me. Gather around the fire. Gather around. You can turn your cameras back on. Um, and I think you could do the seated mermaid as long as you didn't push with the pedal. You could just do it. In the living room, did you all hear me? I said that Anne probably could do the seated mermaid if she doesn't push the pedal. She could work for side bend. All right. Okay, so there was a question about like whatever what I do a like a mat assessment with a beginner client. And what I will say is if you're in my agency group, there is a converting first time clients workshop. And I would watch that and you will hear me. I do not actually do a lot of mat on a first time session. The first time session is more of a buffet. So I have some food allergies and some food sensitivities. And when I went to the buffet at the Wynn, like buffets like are like just disasters for me. They're never great because you never know what's in things, right? But the buffet at the Wynn, I told the hostess, I said, hey, I have some food allergies, some food sensitivities. They sent the chef out, and the chef took me around the entire buffet, the whole buffet. He walked me from dish to dish and he said, you can have that, not that. You can have this, not this. You can have this, not this. There were so many things I could have, right? And then I went back to everything, and of course, I got a little of everything. And do you know when I went to the buffet at the Wynn, you guys? 2008, 2009. I remember this, right? That is the only buffet in this town I would go back to because it's the only one I've heard good things about, and it serves for me, right? So your first time sessions really are like giving someone a buffet treatment based on their goals and needs because you can't fix anything in one session ever, right? You gotta get them to come back. Then once they're in, then we do a little of what they loved from that first session and a lot more of what we want to give them. And we kind of like bridge the gap to only being the things that are for them. Um, I don't do a full mat on anyone. I always do mat exercises I know they can feel and I make them do them right. So 100, that's exhausting. I make them do it because it's weird. It's not like anything they've done. The roll up, very revealing, right? No rollovers. Even if they tell me they're like a gymnast, I'm not doing that. Um, Single leg circles, it gives me it like shows me a lot about what's going on with their hips and their hamstrings, the hip clicking, right? Rolling like a ball. It's playful, it's fun. Can they laugh at themselves? Can they try it? How do they get frustrated? Ab series, yes. Spine stretch forward, yes, but I don't get nitpicky about it because most of them can't feel it, right? They just feel their hamstring. So I'm just like, what does it look like? Can they sit up on their butt? Does it look good? Right? I don't do open leg rocker. I don't do corkscrew. I don't do saw. I'll do a swan prep. I'll do a single leg kick. I don't do a double leg kick. I do a thigh stretch. I don't do a neck pull. I don't, of course, do high high bicycle. I do a version of shoulder bridge. I do a spine twist. I do a side kick, skip teaser, no point. If their swan wasn't in their lower back, I might do swimming. No leg pulls. Um, no kneeling side kicks, no side bend, no boomerang, no seal, no crab, no rocking, no control balance, and I do push-ups. And I make them understand the difference between the push-ups at the gym and the push-ups that we're doing. So like you can see it's like about 20 exercises. And some of them I'm not really correcting anything at all because they can't hurt themselves. And then some of them I am making sure they do it really well because I know that they'll feel it. I'm gonna make them do side kicks really well because I want them to feel it. It's different than anything they do. But the goal, I would get them on more equipment stuff because you want them to get into the fold and then, get them excited about the buffet, get them wanting to come back, right? And then I'm always explaining to them like my goal of teaching them. Here's my goal. You're going to remember these things. I also tell them like today we're going to do about 40 exercises, maybe 50, but in reality, you'll get to where you're doing 70 exercises on this reformer in 30 minutes. Like that's what I tell them. So, okay, on the mat, we're doing about 15, 20 exercises. It's going to take us about 25 minutes. The goal that would be take us like we could do 34 in 20 minutes. Right? Like I'm kind of giving them like, here's how I see you going because it makes them go, whoa, you have a plan. There's so much more to learn. How do I learn? I have to keep coming, be consistent, right? And I make them start to do things for themselves. I make them clean their equipment day one. Day one. I show them how to change the springs and they change the springs. Right. And I tell them, you're doing this, you're picking up your own box because you're going to show me how you do it. Oh, you banged my box? Don't do that. It's going to damage my box and it's not good for your back. Right. Like, and I'm literally telling them how the sausage is made. I'm telling them what I see. I see that you're twisting. You've heard me do this. Say, oh, I see you're twisting here. All of that is so that they understand that I'm looking at their body differently than I look at anyone else's body. So that's what I do for first time session. But there's a whole thing on that. But to the question about the assessment, I don't really do a full mat assessment because you can see a lot just by a single leg circle. You can go, ooh, that's some hamstring. They got some problems. Yeah. Any questions on the exercises? Yeah, Carrie.
So for the spine stretch forward from the ground, that can be like kind of esoteric. What's our like best cues to really get them to engage their center?
Yeah. I don't know why it's taught in programs like it's an intermediate exercise. I think it's advanced. And I would say personally, I would probably there's not a cue I would give. I would, like I was telling the girls in here, I think I would stand behind their back so they can't round into me. Right. And then like, oh, you got shorter, right? Like at some point, it's not telling them what to do, it's telling them it's telling them what they're doing instead of what, you know what I mean? Like, because it's almost hard to tell them what to do. Like what to do is like so complicated. So it's more like, how can you press into this pedal from your center and round forward without getting shorter or rounding back? Like, what do you need to do? So there's not, I wish I could say, here are the three magic words, Carrie, but it's really more like if we think they're ready for it, they have a great chest expansion. They round from their center, not their shoulders. Their hip flexors are not tight, right? If they have, if they've passed those, I'm like, I think they could do this. Then it's a matter of like, okay, so I always let them do three and show me what's going on, and then I ask them where they're feeling it. Where do you feel that? And then if it's not where I want them to feel it, then it's like, okay, based on where they're feeling, I know what's not working. If they're feeling their hip flexors, I know their butt's not on. If they feel it in their, like they're stretching a back, I know, like their upper back, I know, and not their lower back. So if you kind of have to go with what are they feeling it, and then tell them what to do differently this time. This time, I want you to get taller as you round forward. Or this time, I want the pedal to go halfway down, but you find your hundreds curl, right? That's kind of, it's going to be different for everybody what they need to do, but really like let them, they can do it wrong and be safe. Not an exercise they're going to really hurt themselves. So it's okay for it to have like 3 reps of like, oh, that's interesting. All right. And, so that's what I would do. I hate to say it, but there's not, it took me like the way I learned it. Then there was a way I learned it with other people. Then there was the wrong, and then there was the people who have you push it down like this. And then there was Jay, and it was very much like, no, try it again. and, and you're just like, and I would watch people who were doing it well, and I'm like, okay, well, it doesn't look very big, right? So I think sometimes when you can get it well, this is when you can demonstrate and not hurt yourself and be cold, right? So like, and you can even say, here's where I feel it, or here's what I'm thinking about when I do it. That's kind of the best cues. Yeah, sorry, not simple. Um, anything else? It's a hard one. I think they're gonna do, they might even do side pull-ups before they ever do that. Like it is a hard one. Yeah. All right, Miro.
I've got two questions slash comments. So the fish, I had to definitely add one level up on the spring.
Mm-hmm.
I found benefit to it. Like I
You
definitely
did
could
a
feel my
three.
obliques. Yeah.
Yeah, I
No,
mean
I
you have
did a,
chest.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
boosted it
have
one.
chest abundance. That makes sense.
Okay. Because it was nice because I could really get the oblique sensation. I mean, it also is very revealing in terms of like my spine wanting to rotate in all kinds of directions. So then my thought was, if that's happening, like the whole rotation business, should I just like put that in the parking lot and then go back instead and focus on my short box side sit-ups for a while before I kind of explore this further? Or should I keep exploring this further?
I think you can leave it in. Maybe you don't have to do it every week or every session, but like I think it's when you're something to do would be like watch yourself and see where you're twisting from. Are you twisting because your hip flexors are coming forward or one hip flexor is coming forward? Are you twisting because your shoulder is actually not on the back and it's as the pedal comes up, it's pushing you, right? Like, why are you twisting? Are you twisting because you twist when you side bend? Like, so I think it's obviously not going to teach you how to untwist, but I think it's worth exploring like where are you twisting from? And then it might be worth exploring twisting the opposite way. What would that look like? How we have saw and then we have corkscrew, so we can unwind you, or is it that we have to open up your hip flexors, or we have to train your up? So it could be side sit-ups, but it could also be that we actually have to just connect your arms to your back more, or we have to stretch a part of your body more so you can side bend, right?
I feel like it's the same issue that's coming from the tree that's just being like aggravated because I don't have the feedback of both my butt cheeks on the surface because I've come
Mm-hmm.
on my hip. So that's the
Mm-hmm.
sensation I have. Um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So then it's like, okay, what do we have to do? How do we isolate? How do we get more out of your saw to stretch your QL?
mm,
Right?
that makes
Yeah,
sense. Yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah.
and then the other comment slash observation slash question is, so spine stretch forward, going back to that, I like for the first time really felt a lot of like butt, legs, posterior legs, all of that. And I'm like, have I just not been engaging this enough when I do my mat version of this? Like,
Interesting. Yeah. Also, it made me think of your short box. Yeah.
hmm
Yeah. So I think keep exploring it and then go and then just slide back and do a spine stretch forward. Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Love it. Love it. All right. We are ready for the last bits on the Wunda chair. Unfortunately, we saved the hardest ones for last. So, all right. Andrea, I'm gonna tell you, this is what I think is left. Big twist teaser, reverse one teaser, flying eagle, shoulder bridge, all the push-ups with the pike and the star. So if I'm just gonna start with that, and then if you think I'm missing some stuff, is that
No,
about what you got?
yeah, that's what I got.
Perfect. Okay. All right, let's spotlight the pretty wall. Okay. Uh, Come on up, Christine, for some reverse swan teaser. Oh yeah, long back arms. We got it back. Okay, have a seat here. All right, so you want to be close to the edge, okay? And I prefer people, if we're gonna prep them, or like we've got people who are sort of ready for this and sort of not ready for this, I prefer feet to the wall than feet resting on something. So if you want to try this and you're like, I'm not sure I'm ready, get your chair where your feet can be at the wall at eye level, okay? So you find a teaser, toes at your level of your eyes, not higher. See how they want to be higher? That's how people fall off the chair, okay? Then you take your, oh, kryptonite. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I got the toes here. Yeah. Then squeeze your bum and your lower back has to touch the chair. Let's see how your arms are bent. Come back up. hmm Your stomach. Yep. And then round up. So leave your low back behind. Okay. I'm gonna let go of your legs. You gotta hold on to them. This side. Let's just stay down. Yeah. So the goal is that she comes up for her teaser, closes the spring, but her lower back is trying to stay there. After three, she can reach for her toes. Okay. And then rest. Did you guys see how she like moved her back, but the pedal didn't move? That's really a sign that like the whole center wasn't connected. Yeah. So she's gonna do it again. Toes in line with thighs, chest a little higher at some point. Yep. And then reach your hands back. All right. Pull the lower back down and then round up. Leave the lower back behind. So this doesn't come up first. Your chest goes. Yeah. One more. And then reach forward and rest. Good. Thank you. Yeah. Awesome. Everyone in the living room is grateful for you. Okay. So there's extra. We can take the hands and we can lower the legs to the level of the eyes when they're down here. And then I can try to leave my lower back behind. Right? And I got it. And each one is just like another opportunity. The pedal doesn't move because my arms move it. The pedal moves because my stomach moves it, right? And then come up. You can go down here and pump. Amy likes it. Yeah. Amy likes a good pump. And then lift. You can also go everything down, everything up, right? But the lower back stays behind. Okay. Got it? All right. Big twist teaser. So one whole cheek is off. Okay. And you're going to land at a diagonal. One whole cheek is off. Inside leg is crossed. Teaser here. This is like twist on hip on the reformer. This hip has to move first. I want you to push the pedal first. Don't do that. Top, hip up, top of hip over the top first, and then pull it back. So because my hip moves and my arms connected to my back, the pedal moves. Okay. Someday you take the spring off and you have to do this without a spring and you have to come down here and then pick up the pedal with your hand, right? Like that's so you don't want to ride that spring down. I'll do it from the back so you can see. Literally, a whole butt cheek is off. And we all have that one hip. This is mine. Ugh. If your hip doesn't like to roll over, it's because your glute med is really off. You've got to get that glute med on so you can roll over it. All right. Okay. All right. Kristen, do you like to do pikes? Do you like to do a handstand preps? Yeah, I did. I sensed it. It was really good. I'm trying to like remember who's out there that I haven't pulled in here. Carrie and Anne, but we're getting nice to Anne's hand. So, okay. So I do this when I teach it, I really do it on two bottom springs. As you get stronger at it, it is like one middle. But I think like just so you can like be in a safe place, you want to be on two bottoms to practice it. Okay. So turn around and step closer to the chair and put your hands on the floor. And then put one foot on the pedal without pushing it down. And then lift your stomach up, drop your head. And then put the other foot on. Okay. Now, can you walk your hands a little closer to the chair? Yeah. Yes. You got it. You got it. You got it. Now you're pulling from your center 3 times. Pull the pedal down. Goes together ideally. Oh, too far. Careful. I wouldn't hop. Take one foot to the floor and then lift the pedal up. Yep. That's why. All right. So heavy spring. Ready? Put your other foot back on. And then only a little bit down and up from your stomach. Up. There you go. Look at the pedal. You got it. You got it. Yeah. And then lift it up and one foot to the floor. That's it. Way to go. Yeah. Carrie, have you done this before? No? Maybe? Do you want to try? Okay. So Carrie has tightness in her back. We've been working with Carrie this whole time to round her back, right? And I actually think that like the more we can get her back to stretch, the easier a lot of things are going to be. So we're gonna try it. Yeah. Hands on the floor. Worst case, she gets up there and nothing happens. Yep. And so the further you start away, the closer you do have to walk your hands in. Yeah. All right. So just push the pedal kind of up and back a little bit to get your other foot on. Lift your butt up. All right. You got it. Okay. Now pull the pedal a little bit and then stomach up. You got it, babe. Yeah. Go Carrie. And then Sunday she does one leg up. We're gonna think about it. And then we're gonna think about the other leg. And then she's gonna step one foot to the floor. Way to go. Yeah, okay, good. Good job. Thank you, ladies. Amy, can you do a single leg? So the closer you can be so that you're like in the pike, right? And then you go one leg and then you try to pull on the pedal. One. So it goes up two. Yeah, I know it's on two bottoms. And then set it down. It's really mean. And then stomach, lift that leg up. Yep, lift that leg up. Yeah. And then of course she could, like with a spot, lift the other leg up to this one, right? You want to try? Woo. You got it. You got it. Woo. You got it. You got it. You got it. You got it. Stomach in. Yep. Squeeze your heels. Yep. And then one foot down to the floor. Yep. And then careful with that leg. Way to go. He's like, I'm going into a handstand. Yeah, you're good. You're like my husband. He's like on the hand push-up handlebars, like take it to a handstand. I'm like, do you know what you're doing? You do. He doesn't. Okay. So that's your pike. Okay. Um, Carrie, do you know how to do the single arm push-ups? Okay. Do you want more support or Let's do one middle for the one from the floor, and then we'll do more support for the one on top. Okay. Okay. So standing with her feet like she's doing push down side, right? Heels together. Okay. Arms up, round forward, put the hand on the pedal, and then go ahead and step into a plank. And you want to make sure you always step in a straight line. It's nice when you have lines. Yeah. Then you are going to square off, squeeze your heels, squeeze your legs, and then bend your pedal arm 3 times. And see how she wants to lean onto her right arm? She tries to just lift that pedal up. Yes, great job. Head in, walk your feet in. Boom, that was so good. Really square hips. Yeah, so it's not, doesn't, I mean, yes, we could close the spring, right? But we don't want to tip onto the arm. She's got to be able to pump it evenly, okay? Go ahead and do that side. And then when we do push-ups with the top, I will be honest, I really like to move my ladies, not my men. I make them do it harder. My ladies to a one top. And the reason is like we just don't have the upper body we naturally, right? So that'd be a leg thing. Hand in the center, hand on the pedal. Step into your plank. Right. And then think as you bend your top arm, you're going forward with your chest and then up. Yep. That's it. Stomach up. Yeah, babe. One more. Woo! All the shakes. Step it in, finish the exercise, and roll it up. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of people are taught you have to start square and they'll make you bend your top arm to be square to start. That is what you do to people who are really strong. But to people who are not like upper body strength is not their thing, arm back connection is hard for them, be nice, right? So what I'm saying is like, I'm just going to turn the chair here. Thanks, chair. So they would make us, you remember that? Oh my God. I, yeah, Jay would be, Jay, I was like, Jay's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm supposed to be in a squared shoulder. And he goes, that's as far as you bend. He's like, you don't bend any further. So then what? You're just going to hold it? So really, he's like, that's not what happened. People would just come up, place their hands, step, and go, and go. And so as long as only the top arm is bending, step in, roll it up. That's all that matters. So what I don't want to see is you going like this, like use this arm and the weight of the body to push this pedal down, not the pedal arm. It's the same as that reverse swan. You're not using your arms to push the pedal down, you're using your stomach. So if, like I had a bunch of trainers who used to take from me, yes, to be an asshole, I put it on a bottom spring and I made them square off and then I made them push up, but they can go to the floor and up without problem. So that's a different story. That was a challenge for them. For us, this exercise can help us understand what are my asymmetries? What do I need to do? How much do I need to use my legs? When I'm doing my push-ups, am I right on one arm? Am I not on the other? Right? It's very important information. Cool. Okay, thank you. One more, one more push-up, guys. I don't know if my demonstration on this is going to be as good as it was this morning. It was pretty epic this morning. I'm going to be really honest. I'm just going to show you how to get in and out, and then I'm going to use someone else to do the push-ups. So you can get into your push-ups. You want to make sure that your chair isn't going to move around. I'm just going to, that's secure. Okay, so you want to make sure your chair can't move. You can get into it from your plank position, right? That's how it can be. Or if you want to challenge someone, arms up, they round down, they walk out into the plank, and then they hop into it. Okay? 2 times this time. Clear the afternoon tired. So, anyways, now I need someone to do the push-ups. Christine will love to do it. I know it. You're welcome, Sue and Laura. Okay. You can try them anyway. Sue, would I do the push-ups from the top before the floor? Actually, Sue, from the floor is easier than the top. So, Christine's gonna practice leaving her head in. Yeah, yeah. You feel that? It's kind of now, Christine, hold. Now, don't bend your elbows. Just move your body forward and back, like long stretch. Mm-hmm. And then she drops her head in after three and walks her hands back to a pike. Woo, too far. Too much leg. Yeah. You're good? Yeah. Yeah. You good? Okay. All right. Why we hop when the legs are straight. Okay. Then walk out. And now you bend your elbows without moving the pedal. So just bend your elbows and up three times. Yeah. Hi, buddy. I know we're making noise. And then head in without slipping, ideally. Okay. And then walk out. And now she combines the two. So she bends. Yeah. Bend the elbows. Mm-hmm. Yep. And then she can step down or she can walk it in and then step down. You could go into the pike from there. Yeah. It's on a light spring. Be careful. Yeah. Woo. All right. And up. Woo. I'm telling you, it's hot. It's really fucking hot in this room. Okay. All right. Good job. Are your shins okay? Okay. All right. Anne, come on down. I think this is the perfect exercise for you. I think I have the perfect one for you, Anne. And then I'll take Sue after that. All right, come on down, and you can lie on the floor. Okay? Yep, head that way. I've been trying to figure out what can I have Anne do this whole time. Yeah. Yeah, well, I want to, but your poor hand. I'm yeah, you're good. Come here. Put your arches of your feet high, bud. Yeah. You're gonna put your arches of your feet on the pedal. Thank you, buddy. Come here. Can you come over here because you're kind of in camera angle? Okay. Thank you. So don't pull the pedal down. Just lie down. Yeah. I think this is perfect for you if you scoot in. Okay. All right. Okay. So the goal, Anne, is to lift your butt up without pulling the pedal down. Okay. Lift your butt. You feel okay on your knees? Now pull the pedal a little bit. And lift it back up. And then lift your hips a little higher and then pull the pedal down and lift it back up. And again, pull and lift. Yeah. And then roll down. How'd that feel? Good? Don't go anywhere. Do you want to try a single leg? Okay, let's do it. So roll your hips up first. All right, hips are nice and high. Yeah. Straighten one leg out. And then pull the pedal a little bit and lift it back up. Hips high. Use this leg to lift your hips up. Uh-huh. That's it. One more. All right, put it back on the pedal. And then other leg. Yeah. Lift your hips and pull on the pedal. One. Lift your hips and pull on the pedal. Two. And three. And then put your foot down and roll your hips down. You're natural. Thank you. Anne had surgery, you guys, since the Cadillac weekend. So, all right. All right, Sue, you won the long back arm exercise. Have a seat. Hands on the pedal because Laura's shoulders. All right, you just turn your hands are right. You got it. Just push it down. Hi. You're here to check them out? Yeah. We're being friendly now? Yeah. Okay. Squeeze your legs together. All right. You can get a little closer if your shoulders let you. Here, buddy. You're really like in the perfect way. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. Now push the pedal down. Get tall, squeeze your legs, and then bend your elbows. And push it back down. So how do you feel how tall you are when you push the pedal down? How tall can you stay when you bend your elbows? Yeah. That's so good. Take one hand to the side. It could just be Don't turn. Don't turn. Just like, no, just like out. Just like to the side. Yeah, there you go. All right. And then just lift the pedal and push it down. Oh, that was a mess. I usually put my hand down on the floor just to balance. You could put it out to the side, but it's not serving you. Yeah, that's good. Switch hands, but make sure that you put it on the pedal first. Yeah. Gotta say these things, people. You gotta say these things. Oh, this side, not so yummy. Yeah. All right. Then what you do is you turn towards your right and then lift the pedal up. Yeah. Cool. Thank you. hmm Um, Kristen, come lying on the floor, please, face down. Laura's shoulder is a no on this. I'm not even, I mean, she can try, but I don't think so. Yeah. We'll see. I don't think we have enough room for your long legs. Amy, is there a place where we can pull that, just pull that rug towards you so the chair pulls? Yeah, thanks. Yeah, perfect. Okay. All right, long arms. Heel of your hand on the pedal, head down through your arms. hmm Okay. And then push into the pedal to lift your chest. And then lower your chest down, lift your arms. And push into the pedal to lift your chest. So she's doing a good job of not pushing the pedal down more than her chest lifts. Once the chest stops lifting, the arms have to stop moving. Once the arms stop moving, the chest has to stop lifting, right? They work together. Yeah. So good. One, you got it? Let's do one more. Why not? Lift. Yeah. Like it. Careful. Coming up. Wonderful. Andrea, did I miss anything from our list? Oh, star.
You missed star. There wasn't single leg pull up or single leg tendon stretch checked off. Did you already do that yesterday? And it was
Okay. All right. Andrea, I didn't do star yesterday, but I did do single leg tendon stretch and single leg pull up.
okay, so
We
that's
did
just
that.
on this end. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. But I didn't do the this funky thing. Okay. So these are made up names on the cards for these exercises, but it's different than a teaser. So I actually I would make sure you don't teach these on the same day you do reverse swan tweezer. And I wouldn't teach these before reverse swan teaser on top because people get confused. Okay. So this one is more like your short box, right? And you're trying to stay tall and push the pedal away. And this pedal is so low. Here we go. I almost have to like lean back without any pedal and then find it. So the legs have to stay where they are and look and lift. My old chair, oh my God, my pink chair, the pedal is so high that you can get away with it. But you're kind of doing short box flat back, right? Okay, then so the palms face the same way we were for reverse one teaser, but then when you do the twist, you flip it, but on the shoulder, and then I lean, and now I'm doing twist and reach. But what most people do is they go down to the pedal first. Don't do that. You want to go and be long, right? Cool. And if people leave their lower back behind, they're doing our short box. All right. Star. Hey, Laura, you want to try star? Yeah, with a good arm. You're not going to lift it. So, and I don't mean that like you can't. I'm just like, I'm not worried about. Okay. So we're on top, on bottom spring. Hand goes here. Inside foot goes on the pedal. Push that pedal down. Shoulder over your wrists. Arm up. Leg up. Okay. So we know that Laura's working on her back. So her butt is like sticking out to me. Yeah. Yeah. Ready? Push into your arm, push into your leg, lift your arm, lift your leg. One, two, three. Yeah. Well, for you, whoa, that's not how we dismount. You got to keep your hands there and then put your foot to the floor and then lift your pedal up. Yeah. And then you can do whatever you want, but you want to get the pedal up. Yeah. 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 So the goal, I'll show you, it feels impossible, but it gets there. So the goal is, and I really do mean like you think about it. It's like, because you don't want to hop and people will. You have to go, okay, pushing my leg. One, oh my God. Two, this is not my good side. There we go. Three. Hmm. Oh my God. It is the biggest butt kicker, right? Maybe that was my good side now that I think about it. I don't know. So you're here and you're just like pushing down into the arm and the leg, and you're like, this is going to go up. One, two, three. Oh, as my ass cramps on the side. It's so you have to be really open, right? But you got a lot out of just pushing, right? Yeah, you can just everyone can do star and not move the pedal. And so if you're worried about people like hopping or screwing it up, put it on lighter springs so that they can't. Yeah, you could even take the springs all the way off and just go push, 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 lift, 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 get your hip over your knee, and it will help them with their kneeling side kicks and their star. Yeah. Okay. Andrea, did I do it?
You did it.
Oh, jackknife and corkscrew, they're not real things, but they're done. They're in the cards because it's good to know that there are mat exercises you can do on the cards, but essentially, or on the chair. Essentially, if you don't have handles for your mat and you're trying to work on your overhead exercises, or you get stuck on the window chair and you can't go anywhere, can you just lie on down, Laura? I know it's the most comfortable tile in the world. You're so just so you can show the setup, you put your hands on the corners of the chair. Yeah, and you just hug. I would not pull it. It's on like a two bottom or a middle. Some people teach to put your hands on top and pull down, but that to me is the antithesis of like what we're doing with the jackknife, or just have a wide back. So you hug, and then your legs would go over. Some people put them through the chair and then on top of the chair and then up. You don't have to do that. We can all visualize it. Okay. And then corkscrew would be the same thing. Okay. Cool. Thanks. All right. Thank you, everyone. Now you have 10 minutes to play with all of those so we can go over any questions. Um, Laura, I forgot whatever this was to say, whatever it was called. Oh, it's a made up exercise. It's like short box, flat back, and Mhm. Yeah, yeah. For star, at least one top, one bottom. Yeah. you are. Yeah, thank you, Amy. Yeah, Sarah, move forward. Go forward with your body as you go down. Mhm. Tracy, give yourself a little more space from the chair. Just slide back like an inch. Yeah. Oh, and then definitely make sure the chair won't slide when you lift your hips up. Otherwise, that's going to feel really scary. I appreciate the savviness and sliding, but we don't want it to slide around when you're up there. Yeah? That's all. It's not very big. It's and on Star, everyone, the pedal, if it lifts like 2 inches, because if it goes too high, you end up tipping your hips back, right? It's the same as fish. We don't lift that high because then you move your hips. Wanna come here? You come here, Spring. Shannon, can you put your hand flat on that pedal? Fingers forward. Does it work? Can you do that? Your left hand? Yeah. Can it be fingers forward? Yeah. Yeah. And if you're doing the one on top, this is the one that I do one top spring, babe, but your springs are heavier. So, and then the heel of the hand is down. Yeah. Yeah. I would step your feet in just a little bit, Shannon. You looked a little bit behind your wrists. So you want to be like kind of on top of your wrists a little bit more. Yeah. And this one, Shannon, left hip down, left shoulder down. Yeah. There you go. There you go. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. For the push-ups, you can. I mean, you're really moving it. Go forward. Not with your feet, with your body. Like you're doing long stretch or leg pull. Yeah, straight arm. Yeah. And then, Sarah, make sure your hand is at the back edge of the chair and that you're really gripping the back edge. Yeah, lean over. That's it. Lean over your hand. Lean over your hand. Yes, there you go, Sarah. That's it. Oh, I think Melissa likes these push-ups. She does. Just like 1 or 2 more minutes. Yeah, Vero.
What's the spring setting on the bridge?
One middle. You also are booty abundant, so if you want to do one top, I'm not
Okay.
going to be mad about it. You just don't
Okay.
want to be able to pull on it, but you don't want it to like go to the floor.
Okay.
Yeah. And we're going to have time for breakout rooms today, I hope. So if we don't get to everything here, we'll get it in your breakout rooms. A little too much. See how she's towards the floor? That like you want to for twist teaser, you're kind of coming into a straight line on one hip, not in a twist. It's not snake and twist. It's just like straight. Yeah, and then pull the hip back. Eventually, on the third one, if you want to do that thing where like you reach through and you do this crazy thing and twist, you can. But like, see how she's kind of like hanging in her waist. Yeah, we don't want that. It's more of a plank. All right, loves. Finish up what you're on. Any questions about setups while you're finishing, while other people are finishing up? Questions on exercises? How that feel, Shannon?
So long back stretch. Sue's arms went to straight. My arms don't ever go straight. Hold on.
The seated one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, it could be how I don't think my arms get to straight. It could be she has short arms and a tall torso. Um, when I push the pedal down, my elbows are bent. Yeah, it's
Maybe I
okay.
just
Yeah,
have short, stubby arms.
Maybe you're just size appropriate.
yeah, yeah. She,
Maybe I'm
she
fun sized. I don't know.
and I think like if your arms are long, Shannon, it's okay if the arms don't get to straight. What you want to focus on is that when they bend, that you don't do this, right? That when you bend, it kind of feels like you have room to go behind you. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that looks really good. So it's, I mean, like, I think also because you're pretty close to the chair, there's not really, if you slid further away, it'd be a bigger stretch on your shoulder and you might get them to straight, but that's not the point. Yeah. It's like, are you getting the lift and that, that lift that we need when we do our rowings and our pull-ups and our long back stretch on the reformer? Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Any other questions on setups or exercises? How are you feeling, guys? We just did a lot of one to
You said
chair.
you said middle spring on one quick question
Yeah.
on pike and push up from the floor. You said one middle spring, but
For one top, but then yes, the goal is one middle.
okay. All right. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, because the goal, Shannon, is that you could go like from your push-ups on the floor to walking back up into a pike to doing the pike, then doing the single leg, and then doing a handstand. Like that would be like the ultimate like woo series. It's a lot on the arms, but yeah. Yeah. The horseback. Yeah. Yeah, no, my so like my stomach isn't like from just doing like five exercises, like the five hardest on my stomach muscles. Like, what are you doing? Why did you do that to me? Okay, so I'm sure there's more questions. We'll have more time, but I want to get to the armchair, and I think we only have Melissa with an armchair, and then the two that I have here. Okay, so Andrea, will you spotlight Melissa? The other Leslie
Mhm.
Logan phone that has the bronze chair and then my pretty wall. And I want three people on armchairs at the same time. Yeah. And then everyone who's on the armchairs, um, we have to move the blue chair. Yeah. We'll just slide it over there. Mhm. Yeah. Perfect. Okay, guys. So, uh, and then here, we gotta move it. It's too close to the camera. Okay. Mm, hold on. This camera is too close. Okay. All right. So that board actually has a home. It goes so okay, let me just do a little teaching thing. Hold on, hang tight. So you're gonna see the Melissa Brooke has a contrology. This is a contrology, and then Sue is on a Gratz. And you can see how Sue is more upright than this chair is. So the contrology, you can make it more upright, really great for newbies. It's super great for people with neck, shoulder, back issues, not being too far back, right? Especially like little ladies, really, really great. Um, the reason why the Contrology goes back is that Jay's chair from 40 years ago is that far back. Okay. So definitely play with both settings as you have access to a Contrology chair. But I'm going to teach in the way back because it's what our goal is. Okay. So Melissa and Sue and Christine, get on your chairs, and I'm just going to walk through every exercise. And then we're going to go into breakout rooms and you guys can practice. Those of you who don't have access to an armchair, this is going to be like, you're like, I don't have access. I might never have access. I'm going to tell you right now, watch this because someday you might find one. There are people sell the Grotz ones, Plaza ones all the time. Because they think they don't use them, but they're so useful. So there's a couple ways to warm people up into the chair. First, put the bottoms of your feet together, and then they can just do a really gentle, like roll down, like you're rolling down the wall, round forward, and then roll up. And what I'm looking for is, does the heart hit the chair too, right? Does the lower back hit the chair before the upper back does? So like 3 of these are really good. And then now we can also do a saw. So we can turn to one side and then they can roll down the side, not coming off in big chunks and then rolling up the side. And unwind. You do the other side. Yeah, you unwind. Oh, and we don't skip that middle, right? It's like crisscross and roll down and roll up. Uh-huh. And Sue, maybe think of it like an exercise. You're not a robot. You're not a mannequin. Round and roll up. Okay. So they could also, we're not going to do it, but we can all envision 100 being done here. Yes. So I would actually stay upright and then pump your arms on the side. Nope, down towards the floor. And then nope, get back up. Take your arms out. Put your arms down. Put them on behind your legs. Now pump your arms for your 100. Yeah. And then we can see from Christine, she doesn't get her shoulders here, right? She's like, we got it. And then, yeah. So how does that work, right? So it's a nice little warm up. Then that's enough of that. We got a lot to go through. Arms up. Grab this. Lift the arms up to the sky. Okay. Uh-huh. All right. Put your handles up to the sky, ladies. Short box side to side. Reach into the springs. No twisting. Lift up and over to the right. Sue, no way. Is it that big? And lift. So the whole body has to stay on the chair and you go up into that bottom spring. And you go up into that bottom spring. It's not huge. It should be frustrating and revealing and amazing and a lot of things. Uh-huh. And the springs push the shoulders on the back. Okay. So all that I just showed you, none of it from Joe. But I learned it at Jay's studio and I really like it. Yeah? Okay. So now reach your arm, bend your elbows. This is arm circles. Push your arms forward. And then draw 3 circles in each direction. They can be small, they can be big. They're whatever you can do and stay against the chair, right? And your spring should never hit my chair leather because you'll ruin it. So you're never going across your midline. You're never going across. It's not a pec exercise. It's like shoulder out. Okay. Bend your elbows. Reach the arms forward, rowing 3. Lower the arms down. Lift the arms up. Open the arms out to the side. They do not go behind you, right? They're going to stay in your peripheral vision. Push out, lower, lift, open. One more time. Push out, lower, lift, open. Finish the exercise all the way down to out to the side, all the way down to your hips, bend. Okay. Now from the hips, I personally leave my feet knees apart. It's not how the exercise is done. The exercise is done with the feet flat on the floor. And then You reach from your hips and you reach to where the floor meets the wall in front of you. Round forward and reach. The chair should move. So if you're pushing the chair, see how your chair didn't move with you? You're kind of pushing your lower back too much. So it reveals how she rounds, right? So she's got to round and the chair has to move with her. Round, 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 round. Reach for the floor. Yes. Now they all are going to roll up and land with the chair. Oh, this is not going to be fun, Christine. Yeah, but you got to close the chair. You got to go. No, you got to go. You got to go back. You got to go all the way back. Uh-huh. Okay. So when she watches the replay, she will see. Amy, did you see what she did? Yeah, she lifted her chest first. Nope, nope, nope. You gotta lift your stomach first. Uh-huh. And then that's great that you met the chair, but you and the chair now have to lean back. And so you want to actually have done that already. Uh-huh. You want to arrive there. So try it again. You're reaching down to where your feet are. Reach where the floor meets the wall. Dude, reach all the way to that rug in front of you. Reach for the rug. Tracy, reach where the floor meets the wall. Then roll up and land with the chair. She's getting it. Push with your legs more. Do one more time. Do you guys see how this is a hard exercise? But can you see how it would teach the rowing exercise before they're on a moving platform? Yeah. Because we can find out, are they landing in a tall back? Yeah. Okay. So now bottoms of your feet together. Now, something I didn't say, and you can shave and hug against the chair. Something I didn't say is while the soles of the feet together, what I don't want to see is like relaxed knees. You want to squeeze, like, right? So I feel inner thighs, outer hips, all that. Uh-huh. Yeah. Hands behind your head. And then you go up, shave. And ideally your hands can get behind your head. And then notice if the springs are just pulling your hands down or if you're pulling your hands down. hmm Okay, now pretend that's going well. We're gonna we're gonna lift away from the chair. That means you need more legs. Uh-huh. And then you're gonna go up and down with those arms, up and down. Lift your back. I would love your back to be taller, Christine. I would love it to be up. Uh-huh. Yeah, more feet into the together, more feet together. Yes. Okay, way to go. Nice, Tracy. Can you feel your low ribs take up more space wide? Yeah, okay, Sue, good job. Now everyone lean your chest over the floor. Uh-huh. Without hinging, it's almost like a long round. And now shave parallel to the floor. Your hands are now parallel to the floor and you're shaving elbows wider, Christine. Uh-huh. Yeah, wider elbows. I need your whole body more over the floor. Yeah. Uh-huh. Oh, get that left arm off my chair. Thank you. Yeah. It's miserable. You all should feel it. Yes. Okay, lift all the way up. Was that mean? That's pretty intense, yeah? You have to lean all the way back. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, now we hug. So leaning against the chair, hug. And I don't want to see your pecs turn on. So you have to find how does the chair tell you where your shoulders are and your low back? There should be no gaps on this chair. Sue, are your hands lower than your shoulders? Tracy, are your hands lower than your shoulders? And then also, ladies, are the handles perpendicular to the floor? Perpendicular to the floor handles. Uh-huh. All right, now lift away from the chair. Uh-huh. And then hug. Yeah. All right. Okay, now lean back. We're gonna box. Okay, and here's the deal. You can teach someone to box just sitting up there and they box. What do we already know? We're not boxing like a robot. You're boxing like a human, going a little bit across like between your shoulder and your heart, right? Yeah, we'll touch the chair, but like you're there, okay? Now you can just be up here and box. Or you take 8 counts to go forward, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at 8. You're boxing parallel to the floor, not down to the floor, parallel to the floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Roll up. 1, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Roll down. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Tracy, as you go forward, find a round shape. Get your body over your legs. Keep going. One, two, round forward. Get over there. Now box parallel the floor with your head down. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Roll up. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. One more time. One forward. Go. Get this heart rate up. Zone two. Zone two. Get it there. And then roll it up. Yeah. It gets better, right? Yeah. You can't really. Do you notice I didn't say any cues? I just want to get the body where it needs to go and then tell them where to box. They get it. You have to. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. We're not done with the seated stuff. So now you can keep your feet like that, or you can put your feet flat. It's called breathing. Arms start up. So, Christine, this is the one breathing exercise we've had all day. Here it is. Inhale here. Exhale, open your arms, hug the floor. Inhale, arms reverse hug and land at the ceiling with your whole body on the chair. Yep, good luck timing that. And then exhale, round. Inhale, open and up. Exhale. Inhale, open and up. Now we reverse the breath in the arms. So the arms start at the hug. And we take an inhale. Exhale, arms up and dive forward. Inhale up, open the arms. Exhale. Inhale. Up, open the arms. Yeah, fun times. Okay, great. Let go of those springs. And then I'm gonna put Tracy's already there and Sue's already there. Everyone sit up. I will I always put people when they're new to the kneeling stuff in the upright, otherwise they just bang everything around. Okay, kneeling, facing the chair. So you can do pull, you can call this pull straps or chest expansion. If it's chest expansion, you look both ways and there's breath. If it's pull straps, you just pull, right? Easier is to lean your body up against the chair. Harder is to take your body off the chair. So you move your knees and your body off the chair. That being said, no one's shoving their ribs forward, right? Squeeze your heels, pull your arms straight back. Chest expansion, look both ways. Pull straps, you wouldn't, right? And again, pull. I like to put people up against a chair if they have a hard time opening their hips because then they can feel if they're open or not. But we gotta watch those ribs. Okay, then cross the straps, cross the handles, and we do bat. So open the arms up, palms face the floor. Uh-huh. And then pull your arms back. It's small, straighter wrists. It's really mean. Uncross the springs. For the twist, open the arms wide at the side. Palms ideally face down. Open the arms even wider. Some people have to like flip the handles or use more, just hook the thumb, right? And now twist to the right. And straight arms. Straight, straight, straight arms. Yeah, you might have to hook the thumbs, Tracy, in the handle versus holding on to them if you can't get those wrists straight. Yeah, and then twist. Great. Okay. Now, if you don't have the wedge, you have to use pads. Okay. If you have the wedge, then you put the wedge here. But what I like to do is I like to hold the chair up and put the wedge on, and you kneel with both knees. Hold the chair up and then kneel. If you don't have a wedge, you have two options. Okay. Tracy, turn that wedge around. Yeah. Yep. And then hold the chair up as you kneel, Tracy. Yep. Just hold the chair like that and then kneel. You just need one handle. Yeah. Kneel facing me. Perfect. Thank you. All right. So just have the handle that's in front of you. And then uh, carry because you don't have a wedge. Put a bunch of pads under your inner knee so that your knees are even. Or ladies, you can take the outside foot and lunge, but you've got to be in the back of both legs. Okay. I personally like my knees together on the wedge or on a pad so my hips are even. I like to squeeze the heck out of my legs. Make this a leg exercise. All right, handle in front of you. Swakati. So this other arm is just out to the side. And then we know the elbow has to be in line with the shoulder. And then bend your elbow. Yep. And then you just open the arm up and then you bring the arm forward so the elbow doesn't move. Yep. So we're doing this one first, and the back of the hand moves, but the elbow and shoulder do not. It is not like a retraction of the shoulder blade and then a push of the arm. Okay. Switch the handle into the other hand, arm down by outside arm by your side, and you'll go shave up. And you only go as far up as you don't swing the arm wide to the side. After 3, put the handle back in the other hand. Take your arm out to the side. So you can touch the back of the chair, take the hand overhead, side bend without twisting, and then pull that arm towards straight. 1, 2, 3. Now, one big circle in front. Look at your back hand. One big circle down and up and around. Big side bend. Put the handle in the other hand. Both arms are straight. Both arms lift and open. The chair will move. It doesn't get to bounce. Straight arms. So maybe you don't take your arms as low as you want yet until you can get it to be from your back and you can reach out more as you lower. It can move, it doesn't get to bounce. Okay. All right, turn around other side. We'll work on it. We'll work on it. It's so hard. It's the hardest. I know. And the armchair, so the chairs weekend is really where people start to get mad because then they start to want to buy more things and they get pissed because they're like, I need this armchair now. All right. So make sure you're not twisted. Your shoulder is winging. Yeah. All right, here we go. Open the door with just your elbow moving. I mean, you're moving it from your back, but that's all that's opening, right? That's hinging. Switch the hand, shave the ear. Hmm. I like to squeeze everything together because I get more inner thighs, outer hips, hamstrings. Like my goal is that tomorrow after my Swakati that like I am a little sore in my hips. I'm like, oh, I did it. No, you do not touch the chair with the chair can move to your hip, but you don't move your hip to the chair. Then after you up and down, now you gotta do your lawnmower. And then one big circle in each direction. And then you do your lotus arms. And of course, Joe did not call it this. You're gonna get your pinky side of the hand on the handle. Pinky side of the hand on the handle the whole time. Good. Okay. Now take your wedges and pads off, and you're gonna kneel away from the chair. Your feet will not be on the chair. Your toes can tuck to the floor depending on your foot, like this. You can stand on them. Depends on like your shin length and your feet. Then palms up and circle 3 circles in each direction. Horseback. The really tall back. Palms up, pinkies up the whole time. Closed fists or long fingers depends on what your goal is. If you're trying to get stronger, it's a fist. If you're trying to challenge yourself, it's a long finger. Yeah. Good job. Way to go, crew. Okay. All right. So thank you, ladies, for being the bodies for this, for everyone to watch. So any questions on that? All right. So we're going to do a breakout room. This is really just so that you guys can actually practice either teaching people exercises you don't normally get to teach or you can't do, right? Because then you can ask them, where do you feel this? What does it feel like all that stuff, because I want you to take advantage of each other's bodies. So if you are let's do this, Andrea. Let's pair um let's pair Laura and Shannon together. And Laura, you can use my office, okay? And also actually we're doing a breakout room, so you'll stay on your phone, Laura. You can use my office for part of it, but also so that Shannon can practice teaching on an armchair. Just know that you can also kick people off the armchair for 5 minutes, okay? All right. Um, because I want her to have access to practicing that. And then Andrea will put um, Sarah and Vero together. And then Melissa and Tracy are together, so they'll just be in their own little situation. And then everyone else is at my house as we'll just not be in a breakout room, okay? So we're gonna do this is gonna be 30 minutes, a significant amount of time. The goal is not that you just chat the whole time. It really is you can go through the list of the 89 exercises you learned in 2 days and go, what do I not get the opportunity to teach very much? Or what can't I do in my body yet? So that you can have that person do it. Okay. Oh, here we go. I'm bringing Laura and Andrea so you can put her in a room. Okay, so this is 30 minutes. So I would really say 15 each person, but also play. If you and then we'll bring you out and then we'll do Q&A because there'll be questions on like setups and like, is this right? Who's this for? There's no silly questions, okay? So how are we doing, Andrea? Do you have any questions?
It was Shannon and Laura, right?
Shannon and Laura, Sarah and Vero, and then Tracy and Melissa. But Tracy and Melissa are together already, so you don't probably have to put them in a room. Hi guys. Vero and Sarah, I know that Vero has access to Melissa with the high chair. So obviously with her partner, she can practice teach on the high chair. Sarah, I know that you and Shannon don't have access. So if tomorrow you want me to make sure you're paired up with someone to teach on the armchair, just let us know, okay? I want you to have, or if you don't, but then just make sure that during the time with the group you call on someone to teach them because it's important. Even if you don't think you'll ever teach on the armchair, I want you to like have an opportunity to like do it in case you ever see one used. You want to snag it, right? Or if you ever want to buy one, you want to have it. Um, okay. At any questions, aha moments, wonders, worries that came up with you or people teaching? Oh, you have access to an armchair. Great, Sarah. Well, that's a win. I okay, you must report back after you work out on it. I think you're gonna love it. I think you'll love it. Okay. Um, yes, Kristen.
I've never used the armchair before,
Mhm.
and I'm working on my arm back and
Mhm.
growing, and I found that that was really helpful for me.
Yeah.
I could really feel, I needed that feedback.
Yeah. I'm just gonna repeat it just in case they can't hear you. Kristen said she has never worked on an armchair before. And she got to work on it and she's been working on her rowing, right, on a reformer, and she really got the feedback with the back against it. I agree. It's like, to me, the armchair is the opposite of the high chair. The high chair gives you feedback for your back with your legs, and the armchair gives you feedback for your back for your arm. Like, you know what I mean? And so then oh my God, every time I do my circles,
my ribs pop off. Like you said, and or oh my gosh, I'm actually pushing my lower back down. That's not the same as getting longer, right? Yeah. Yeah. What else?
Oh, I have a quick question.
Yes.
It was kneeling twist, I think, on the armchair. Tracy and I were, I handled down, palm facing down.
Yes, it's ideally palm facing down, and your leather handles are probably really stiff because it's a new
Oh,
chair. We have to get you abusing it more.
okay.
Yeah. So your
Great.
leather probably doesn't bend enough to get your palm flat. So hook your thumb into the handle
Okay. Okay.
and then make everyone get using that armchair to soften those leather handles. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Thank
Cool. Yeah. I'm glad you guys could do that. What else? Easy. You nailed it. Everyone knows where which way fingers go, hands go. Christine.
So I'm just so shocked by how narrow this pedal is versus the combo chairs with the balanced body.
Uh-huh.
And is there a reason, I guess one reason why they make this so narrow, and or better question, why is the other one so wide?
So just in case it's soft, why are the classical chair pedals so narrow when like those split pedals and those contemporary chairs are really wide? I can't answer why they're really wide. I don't understand. I also don't like the way they feel personally. I think that they're really hard and mean. All the classical pedals are narrow, and I personally think it has to do with like again the chairs. The winded chair specifically is an advanced piece of an equipment, right? The high chair, the handles are nice and wide. You've got a lot of space. The armchair, it's not advanced or beginner. It's kind of like it's there when you're ready for it, right? But the one chair, it requires an understanding of your center like no other. And so the narrow pedal means you have to have open chest, connected arms, right? The Cadillac, Joe gave you a really long bar and then a narrow push through bar, right? So like we can build someone up to this. So I would just say for people with tight shoulders, obviously long back, reverse one, push through, um, probably not happening for them until they get really good with the rollback bar, right? And get really open with their shoulders. But then this is what they get to work towards. They get to work towards this. Yeah. Yeah. But it's a good observation. Yeah, I also don't really understand because they made those chairs taller than my chair. So they're really tall. And then they're also often narrow at the top. And so all I can say is they were not designed for classical Pilates. And that doesn't make them wrong. It makes it like, you know, it's like the same as like certain hair dryers are really good for straight hair versus curly hair. Like you just have to know like you can't use a diffuser if you want to have flat hair, right? You just so there's nothing wrong with it. It's just what it was designed for. And unfortunately, if you're trying to make them work for what we're doing here, it might be frustrating. All I can say is like I promise you, understanding how to do these exercises on any chair is going to make you extremely employable. I can teach anywhere that is not a Legree inspired studio. Like I can really teach on anything. And I feel that has made me extremely hireable. And I want that for anyone who works with me. I want you, if the shit hits the fucking fan and you have to move and take care of a parent, I want you to be able to walk into the studio down the street and have a job. Like I just think that that's really helpful. So just know that. And then also know that equipment sells for a really good price. Do not take less than what's on a website. Everyone has made their equipment more expensive in the last 5 years, at least 2 times. So if yours has no nicks or scratches or dents, you can probably sell it for what you paid for and get what you want. Yeah. Yeah. What else? Yes, Laura.
So Shannon had me do long back arms, and I didn't think I was going to be able to do it with my shoulder, and it actually felt good. Like I felt so much more open than I normally do. It was actually went pretty well.
That's so cool.
And then the armchair too. Like I can feel where I want to pull my arms off my back. Like all the stuff you've been telling me about since January. So I almost want to buy an armchair.
Yeah, and also Laura, before you leave here, get on the Contrology armchair because that bronzy one is squishy, and I
Hmm.
want you to feel what your rounded upper back does with your lower back, right? I want you
Okay.
to, because you and Christine have opposite. Christine rounds her lower back a lot to do some things that
Hmm.
are tall, and you are, so I want you to play with that. But I know that Shannon has the shoulder thing as well, so I really wanted you two to get a chance to work together on the chairs and explore that.
Hmm.
Shoulders are funny things. One, in theory, you have been working really hard on your arm back connection, and so those littler muscles around your shoulder have gotten stronger. Even if you can't put your hands in your mat yet, they have
Hmm.
gotten stronger. And so I think it's like it's always worth exploring and not making rules until there are rules. You know, until someone
Hmm.
literally says to you, Laura, never ever put your thumbs behind your back and touch them behind your back. Like your double leg kick has gotten so good, right? Like as his hands get closer on that thing you're using, you're going to be able to do these things. And so
Hmm.
I am glad you guys got to try that out. And it's just also it's a range of motion thing, right? Like you're not rolling up onto your shoulders in that position, and you're also not letting the pedal go super high. So you control it. Great job, you two.
Yeah, felt good.
Yeah.
Thanks.
What else? Aha moments, wonders, curiosities, questions. They can be as simple as what the fingers are doing because I really don't want to see assessments where it's going up, it's pressed down side and it's a weird foot. Oh, you know what we didn't do with either group and no one's caught me? What is that, Sarah? We definitely didn't do Captain Morgan.
Oh, yeah.
No,
We did Flying Eagle.
flying eagle.
We did it. Who did I make do it?
Me.
I made Kristen do it. Yeah, I made Kristen do it. But let's have some fun with Captain Morgan really quickly.
Is that the card that says arches?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
It's
that's the arch.
yeah. So pull that chair in the center and then Andrea, will you spotlight the gorgeous sunset that's happening? You're gonna do this in all of the glory that it is. And then put it on a top spring. So the Pilates Center calls it Captain Morgan. Jay would never.
Press down arches.
Yeah, it's so just push that chair back. Push the chair back. Watch your toes. Yeah, a little bit more. A little bit more. Okay, now stand in front of the pedal. Okay, you're gonna stand pretty darn close to the center of the chair, and then your right even closer than that actually. So this is like opposite of like press down side. The left foot is gonna be on the arch on the pedal. And then, yep, like bird on a perch foot. Yep. And then your right foot is on the ball of the foot. Yep.
Wow.
Okay, pump. It's quick. Try to get the pedal down and up, down and up, down without slamming it. Yeah. And try to close it all the way. So it's not like, yeah. There we go. Yes. And then you can see why it's called Captain Morgan because she's on a peg leg. So, oh, you're too far away for sure. You want it like honestly, not forward towards my wall, but like, yeah, close to the chair. It's a V. It's a turnout because you want the ball. When you're turned out, you have more surface area to stand on. All right, and then work before you work the speed. Find your range, and then get faster. Oh, this is a funky side for her. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. That's plenty. She's got work to do.
Felt better.
Yeah, got better. Yeah, it was like kind of bouncing all around. Anyways, that's Captain Morgan. Andrea, we'll have to add it to the sheet. It's in the cards, but not the sheet. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
For most of the standing work, we do Pilates B, correct? On the wooden chair.
For most of the standing work, so press down front. The standing foot is in the Pilates V, but the pedal foot is parallel. For going up front, the pedal foot is turned out, but the top foot is likely parallel. Now, if you had a balance issue, you could slightly turn it out as well, but just got to watch the knee, right? Okay. For press down side, you're in Pilates V, but for going upside, you're parallel on the pedal, turned out on top of the chair. Mountain climber, the back foot could be turned out, but the top foot is parallel. Going down the mountain front, you start in Pilates V, but the pedal foot is going to be parallel and the chair foot's going to be slightly turned out. Going down the mountain side, pedal foot is parallel, top foot is turned out. So there's a lot of like, it starts in Pilates V, but then one is one way, one's the other. Piano Frog is turned out. Captain Morgan is turned out. Crossover, press down crossover is parallel.
So are there any points where you would have people parallel rather than V, like if they just don't do the V very well? Or
is there any point that I would do parallel rather than V? If they were a overly turned out person, I would work them parallel. Like, so if you get a dancer in your life and they're just like living it in, first and second position, I would parallel them with a lot of things. Yeah. But you might have to, like with pull-ups, like put something between their ankles. Like you got to close the chain a little bit. You got to create space. Yeah. But if they didn't do the Pilates V very well, I kind of need to know what's going on if they weren't a dancer. Like, is it because they have crazy ankle bones? Do they have flat feet? What's going on that we can't get a slight turnout? Because that slight turnout gets us more glute and gets them out of hip flexor, right? It gives us more balance, right? So like parallel is even if fist doesn't support is a balance problem, right? So yeah. Yeah. Isn't that fun to go off the top of your head and go, what is the setup? What is the hands? Yeah. Yeah.
So down front, you said the standing foot is parallel.
Press down front. No, press down front. You start in Pilates V and the pedal foot is parallel. Achilles stretch. You start in Pilates V. The pedal foot is parallel. Yeah. Yeah. Any more? It's a lot. I know. 89 exercises, 2 days.
Press down side is parallel?
No, press down side. Everything is turned out.
So I have a non-armchair favorite.
Yeah.
And then cross over to the
Grandpa was gentle, was he rough?
Oh, okay. Hold on. I'm not on AirPods, so you'll have to just. Anne asked, what was Jay like?
Yeah. Was he kind? Was he a grandpa? Was he a dad? Was he just rough? Or
He had no kids.
What?
Very gay. Very much on the prowl all the time. I think proudly so. He didn't like to be used, so he wouldn't speak to you for a while. And not because he was rude, because many people would like take a picture with him and then put it online and say they trained with him. And he didn't like that. Yeah. He really didn't like that. Like really hated having his picture taken with people that were not people that he trusted. I think that was just also Jay's big thing was like, if you really want to understand Pilates, you have to understand the history of the time. If you really want to understand Pilates, you have to understand the history of when it was made, what was going on, what was New York like. Joe was an immigrant. Not only did he not talk, he didn't talk because I want people to hear his German accent, right? So he was he was more into theater and dance and opera and jazz than he would ever be about Pilates. Like if we were at dinner, it would bring him the most joy to never talk about Pilates. Wasn't his thing. He he talked a lot about how important it was for you to travel and to read. And in Joe's studio, he said most of the books were actually about travel or they were biographies about people. They were not like exercise all the time stuff. And he would get something, if he was upset about something, you knew it. Like if he's like, no, that's not how it is, he would get in those things sometimes. And other times he would just, if he didn't want, just because he didn't tell you it was wrong doesn't mean it wasn't wrong. He also like had a lot of patience and understanding that like you were gonna, if you were on the right path to getting there, right? And he would say things like, if you were really good at something, instead of him saying you're really good at that, he would say, oh, like, he wouldn't say about everything that you're really good at. He would say like, oh, that feels really good. Like when he would watch you from a like a body perspective, like, oh, that feels really good. And sometimes when he'd correct you, he would say, that doesn't feel really good to me. Does that feel really good to you? Um, if he didn't like something, his way of saying it would go kakapupu Kakapupu shishi. Multiple words as opposed to no, because Joe never said no. Joe never said no. Joe never said don't. He always told you what to do. So he'd say kakapupu shishi. And like that kind of made us all laugh and like start again. Um, he would get curmudgeony about things like he didn't, there were certain things you could not have in the studio. He did not actually like sticky socks, right? Like he like um and so but as he got older, he did get softer. Like he one day in like the last year of his life, he'd said like I he would get so upset about the way people would teach and how they talk all the time and like talk and talk and they nitpick and then like they were changing things and they didn't know it. And he finally was like, I get it now. They teach it like that because that's how they were trained. So he stopped thinking it was like, that's their fault. And he realized it was the training. And so he got softer there, but he hated the question, like hated the question. And I don't hate the question, but ever since this, I distinctly remember this moment, this 3 hours. It just like didn't stop. And like I was like, we were all throwing daggers. So it was a hybrid workshop. People were online, people were in the studio. They opened it up to the public. So the public could actually like learn from Jay. And that I don't think that ever happened again. Because so Brad used to film Jay. So Brad has lots of Jay stories, and Jay would always go, do you like Brad's beard? I don't really think I like Brad's beard. And I was like, my husband. Get your own husband. Anyways, so Brad would set up all the camera angles. And then just like Andrea has been spotlighting things for you guys, but they could spotlight without anyone talking. They could see this is where we're at. We spotlight that. We spotlight this. So you could be at home. You could be around the world. And so then people could chat and they could ask questions. And so the girl asking the questions was just like wanting to make sure everyone got their question answered. I don't know why. If I had been it, I would have never asked the question that I knew would piss Jay off, but whatever, it's fine. So they kept going, oh, who would you give that exercise to? Why would you give that exercise? What is that exercise for? Any question like that. He'd go, the body. He'd like look, and she's like, well, like she wants to know like what part of the body? And he goes, the body. The body. And like it kept happening. And like, I mean, it was just, and he was just like, the body. Every exercise is for the body. It's for the body. And you have to decide if it's right for that body today. It's for the body. Don't ask again. It's for the body. He got so it's really depended, you know, really depended. And he got real, he was really funny and really snarky and really dry sense of humor. But he said when on the barrels weekend, he said, it was barrels and chairs. And he said, if you don't like an exercise, you have to do it twice. And then we like got to like side sit-ups on the ladder barrel, and he's like, I hate this exercise. I was like, oh, it sounds like you have to do it twice. And he just looked at me, and he like dead. And then he barely smiled when he said, who let you in here? So he is a really but he's a special person. But you remember he was a very famous choreographer and dancer. Like in before Pilates, he had this whole career as this like man about the town. And then he just wanted to teach Pilates in his house with a lot of macrame. He had a lot of macrame. And then, he never really wanted to be a famous, like the whole thing with him being attached to Contrology was never anything he wanted.
How did he come to
Can I ask a follow-up question? How did
Yeah.
he feel about like places like Club Pilates or Legree, like all this stuff that's taken Pilates to another place?
Oh,
Did he have opinions?
yeah. And it was, he would like, no, no, it's not Pilates. He would say it's not Pilates.
Hmm.
He would say it doesn't mean it's bad. He also would say like to like a pre-Pilates exercise, he wouldn't say that those things are bad. He would just say, don't call it Pilates.
Hmm.
Like those things are fitness things. So they are fitness. So he wasn't like, you're wrong and you're a bad teacher. He would just go, why are they calling it Pilates? This already exists. Why not call it something else? And I think Legree could just sit in its world being Legree, but they keep wanting to be Pilates inspired because they want the marketing because they can't make Legree happen.
Yeah.
Right? So his whole thing is like, just don't call it that. Call it something else.
Yeah.
And then last question, and I've got to get you guys out of here, and we can hang out tomorrow night and have drinks and talk about it. And if you want to stay on Zoom, I'll keep it open. We'll talk about it. I just won't record it. But he was sent there because he's a dancer in New York, and he got into dance really, really late. He actually got into dance in college. He was a farmer's kid. He had really big, strong hands, like really, like for how like just such a dancer he was. He had these like really strong, big hands. Anyways, he got into it because he was a dancer.
Was he injured or just some?
No, he was just sent there. He was just sent there.
By his teacher? Do we know who that teacher was?
He didn't tell me that. He may have said it somewhere else, maybe in an interview that he said it in. But no, and it might be on Pilatesology. He filmed a lot for them, but he went there. And if you guys are OPC members, go into the library and watch the John Steele recording. Because I surprised John Steele with Jay. And Jay said that he used to go to the studio and John Steele be working out there, and Jay was like enamored with his Brooks Brothers suits. And just like so jealous because he was such a New Yorker. And here's Jay, this like poor farm boy trying to make it in New York. And like John is like a New Yorker and he's a rich New Yorker, right? And then he opened up the Cage Lion, and the first page is how much John hated his suits and his job. And Jay just like laughed out loud, like, because like he was so envious of him. So yeah. All right, more Jay stories another night. You guys have to go. Andrea,
Yes.
thanks for being here.
Good to see you guys.
Yeah, so good to see you.
I'll see you in a couple weeks, actually, in Santa Barbara.
And Santa Barbara. Oh, I can't wait. Oh, you're gonna love that girl who owns that studio. It's not a Pilates studio, but you're gonna love it. I can't wait to see you there.
Yeah, I can't wait to see you either.
Yeah. A lot of fun. All right, gorgeous people. Thank you so much. Andrea, thanks for hanging out this afternoon. Have a good night, guys. Bye.